Got it. We're gonna get back into the tribes. All right. Okay, we are officially still coming up. It's still coming up. Buffering. All right, we are officially live on the YouTube. Okay. We're still live on the YouTube. Let's go here. Let me open up the club deck. All right. Open up the club deck. Popping up. Again, we're gonna say Shabbat Shalom to everyone that's gonna come on.
Shabbat Shalom.
Gonna wait for it to bring up the new update. Anyway, let me start the room there. Taking too long to come up with the update. You have to catch up. There it is. Take a new update right there. Basic. And every time you come on this club deck, there's an update. Like every time, like you just can't come on there and it's going. It's always an update. Like they constantly updating this thing. Like every single week, there's a new update. Back? Okay. All right.
You know, that is code they trying to make Kanye West made it look like he said something wrong. I didn't see that interview, but like
Here we go. We on the club. What's happening? I got it. I don't see it. Are we on? Okay, I went too far over. We don't need that. All right, here. All right, Shabbat Shalom on the club deck. He's there.
Shalom.
Okay, let me make you a moderator. Just in case. All right. Moderated in here. And let me I think I still have the link. Can I put the link in the chat if anybody wants to come on? Nope, don't have it. Not the link. That is not the link. Let's cancel that. I'll put it in there later. I'll put it back in there. We'll be live on the club deck. All right. Let me just minimize that. I'm still screen sharing here. Let me play. You can play again with what Johanna said. We're going to read the scripture. All right. Play it again what he said.
What? You wonder why we act the way of what y'all angry at, what y'all blaming the white man for. Nehemiah and them was angry as hell. You're gonna see in what I'm gonna bring out tonight, they was mad as hell. And we should be mad as hell. The Lord said, I shall provoke thee with they that are not of God.
There we have it. The Lord said, I will provoke thee with they that are not a God. Now he's quoting Deuteronomy 32, verse 21. We're going to read it to be clear. Let me bring it up here. Deuteronomy 32, verse 21. I'm going to highlight it so we can see it. I'm going to read the whole verse. All right. Let me pull this down a little bit so I can see it. Okay, again, so Johanna said, the Lord said, that's the problem. The problem is when you say the Lord say something, you got to get the Most High word correct.
Hey, I'm sorry, brother. What book is this in?
Deuteronomy 32, verse 21. Right? One more time for those, and you hear it one more time, I'll say it one more time, in saying it. We're going to read the verse.
Little booths, even though they're using tarps. You see it with them little booths in the front of their yard, that's where they got it from. Stealing our culture. We're supposed to be the ones with that identity. You understand? And let me tell you something. I'm gonna show you how mad Nehemiah and them was. You wonder why we act the way of what y'all angry at, what y'all blaming the white man for. Nehemiah and them was angry as hell. You're gonna see in what I'm gonna bring out tonight, they was mad as hell. And we should be mad as hell. The Lord said, I shall provoke thee with they that are not of God.
All right, you heard it again. That's for clarity. The Lord said, he said, I will provoke thee to jealousy with they that are not God. Can we get Deuteronomy 32, verse 21?
I'll take Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 21. It reads, they have moved me to jealousy with that which is not God.
Stop right there. So he's confusing part of the verse, right? So this says, I will provoke you to jealousy with that which is not a God, right? He said they that are not a God. This doesn't say they. So he's confusing this part of the verse right here. Go ahead.
They have provoked me to anger, which their vanity.
Go ahead.
And I will move them to jealousy with those which are not a people. I will provoke them to anger with a foolish nation.
Right. So we can see he's convoluting the verse and putting different things where it's supposed to go. It doesn't go together. So I will move. He said, Lord, I will move thee to jealousy with they that are not a God, is what Johanna said. You see that the verse does not say that nowhere here verbatim, right? So he's misquoting the verse. This is the head of the ISUPK. No one corrected him. No one said, let's read the verse. Here's the problem, right? He could have said, look, I'm going to paraphrase the verse. I'm not going to be a verbatim thing, but I'm just going to be along these lines, right? That's not what he said, right? So in a case like that, people that's in the room should have been like, sir, I have the verse, let me read the verse. Because he's misquoting the verse, and he's putting it, the Lord said that, and the Lord didn't say that. So you cannot be saying the Lord say something, and he didn't actually said it like that. You're conveying something wrong that the Most High never said. Tony, you want to say something?
To ask, when they say a foolish nation that are not of people, and I look at like the old dictionary when they're saying some of the people without melon are like subhumans. Could it be meaning this right here? Like the people without melon.
That's them, yeah. Right. Not a people, meaning not human.
Not of human.
Not having pigmentation, right? To be human, yeah, hue means melanin, pigmentation. So to be human, you have to have pigmentation, right? Then it goes on, provoke you them to anger with a foolish nation. That's the so-called white, so-called Edomite nation. They're the foolish nation on the earth. You see what they do all the time. That's what they do with a whole bunch of foolishness.
Rock climbing 1,000,000 feet in the air.
Bungee jumping, camping, getting eaten by mountain lions.
At the bottom of the ocean.
Doing a whole bunch of stupid stuff, bro.
Tussling with alligators.
Wanting to climb Mount Everest and get up there and die. The elevation is so high. Freeze up there and oxygen is thin and all kinds of stuff. So it's they do a whole bunch of food. They're the foolish nation. Again, if it's not them, then point them out. If it ain't them, then who is it then? If it ain't the so-called Edomite nation, who is it then? Sakari says the Babylonians. It doesn't make no sense at all. It doesn't make no sense at all.
The Babylonians were Ethiopians at one time, right?
Huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, that don't make sense for it to be honest.
The Lord told Israel to go serve Nebuchadnezzar. They didn't want to serve Nebuchadnezzar. Told them to serve Nebuchadnezzar. They didn't want to do it. They're not the foolish nation.
It's two Nebuchadnezzars, right? One is the Israelite, one is
No Israelite.
Oh, both Nebuchadnezzars? Okay, yeah, good. Okay, yeah.
The one I think is in the captivity is Nebuchadnezzar too.
Okay.
What
There was
about
one
the
before him.
What about the one in Judah?
One where?
In the book of Judah.
In the book of Judah.
Yeah, in the book of Judah.
Judah.
I just said Judah.
I thought you said Judah. You said Judith.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one too. That was an Assyrian.
Yeah.
There was no Nebuchadnezzar that was an Assyrian. That's so wrong. I'll tell you the book of all.
Did they have Israelites teaching that Nebuchadnezzar is an Israelite?
I don't know about that. I don't know. I haven't heard that. It could be, but I haven't heard it, so I would know. Okay. But here's the verse that Johannes misquoted. All right.
You ever heard of the book of Apocalypse of Stephen?
No, I don't think I heard of that one.
Yeah, he has a book called that.
Yeah, that's not something that's made up too as well.
Yeah.
All right, let me stop sharing that right quick. You got that. All right, let's get back to the tribe. I think we left off. The last one we did was who? The last one we did was Simeon and Levi. So now we're in Judah. So we in Genesis 49. Genesis 49 is where we at now. I just wanted to show you how you have the head of the ISUPK, and he just clearly it's quoting the verse and saying the Lord said it's because he stopped reading the Bible. He stopped reading the Bible. This happened to people who stop reading the Bible and swept it down and they remember what it says. It doesn't work that way. The minute you stop reading it, you begin to immediately start forgetting certain things. It's slow, but it starts. It starts already.
And is that Satan taking it out of your head, or does he do that another time?
He does that all the time. That's why you want to keep reading and putting it back in. But you would forget what it's saying. You start to misquote it. And when you start to misquote it, is when you have false doctrine. Because you're misquoting it, you're saying it says this, but then it doesn't say that. Little words, 2 or 3 words can change the whole meaning of the thing. Remember, right? Because he said, with they that are not a God, he doesn't say that. He said they that are no people, right? So no people and a God is a big difference. You know what I'm saying? But it does have in there that with they are not a God, with the vanity that are not a God. That is in it, but it's not they. It is that which is not God. You know what I'm saying? So it's important you get it correctly. So Genesis 49, and we now at verse 8. Now
Judah.
not verse. But before I start, man, I start with questions. Do we have any questions? We all start with questions first of all. Before we get to the lesson. Is there any questions before we get into the lesson? Yes, sir.
No, I was not really question. I was reading over this. I didn't see where Asher was in these tribes. Where he felt pursued. I see.
Where Asher is?
Yeah.
Asher's on another page. You see, I think it's on the other page. It's verse 20. Asher verse 20, Tony. You see verse 20?
Oh yeah, I see it. All right, that
Okay.
I overlooked that.
No problem. All right, so Genesis 49, now we're in verse 8. We did part 1 last week. We're going to try to do as much strive as we can today. So who has that in Genesis chapter 49, verse 8? Okay, go ahead real loud for the microphone.
Genesis chapter 49 and verse 8. Judah, thou art he whom thy brothers shall praise. Thy hand shall be in the neck of thine enemies. Thy father's children shall bow down before thee.
So we see that Judah is the one that's going to prevail out of all of the tribes. He's one of his brothers that are going to praise. He said, "You who that brethren shall praise," and that's his name as well. Most High praise. Thy hand shall be in the neck of thine enemies. Thy father's children shall bow down before Judah. Where's my book? Book at home. Days, man, forgot all my materials. Yep. Individual book notes. Okay, go ahead, verse 9.
Judah is a lion's whelp. From the prey, my son, thou art gone up. He stooped down. He crouched as a lion, and as an old lion, who shall rise him up?
Right. So that's prophecy of Judah. So let's get some precept here, right? So they said this. I'm gonna come at the 9. I don't have my book notes with me. I think I left it at home. But verse 10 said the scepter is the ruler, right? The ruler. The scepter is speaking of the ruler. So not the rulership, right? Shall not depart of.
We haven't did verse 3 yet.
We need verse 10. I'm sorry. Verse 9. I'm sorry, verse 9. Judah is a lion's whelp. A lion, it means a baby lion. A whelp is a baby lion.
Oh,
Right? From the prey, my son, thou has gone up. So the prey is the victim. And from them he has went up. It says he stooped and crouched down. He stooped down and crouched as a lion, showing his posture. And that's how lions do when they get ready to attack, right? They're gonna creep down. They're creeping, right? That's what he's doing. He's creep down. It says, and as an old lion, who shall rouse him up? So when when the lion gets older, they slow, they do too much activity. That's kind of how can I usually you need something to rile them up. Some kind of event or something, right? Because I give you an example. An example like that rod of Judah was what? The rod of King birth, right? That riled him up. They went crazy. You know what I'm saying?
He woke up for
He
that.
woke up for that one. He got busy. You know what I'm saying? That's all that means. See, who shall rouse him up? He needs some kind of big event to rouse him up. And when he riles up, he busy. I'm saying. Then we have to watch Riot again. So we have certain things that rouse them up, and then you had the same thing again. Well, not exactly, but similar with the George Floyd thing. There's a little bit of rousing, but that wasn't that much because you had other nations that was involved in it too as well. But as I was an old lion, who's not going to rouse them up? Get back to verse 8. That I have my notes with me, but because today's one of them days, man. So we need verse 10. Verse 10.
Yabana got a question.
Well,
Yes, sir.
I just wanted to know what you think what Gabar brought out yesterday about the George Floyd thing. The guy didn't really have his knee on the dude's neck like that.
I think that's false.
Uh-huh.
I think that's false, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I think that footage is doctored.
Mhm.
He's speaking of a documentary that's out there, a documentary that talked about how George Floyd was not killed by Derek Chauvin. His knee wasn't on his neck, the knee was on his shoulder blade more. But it was this documentary he's talking about, and he had some kind of drug in his system, and that's what actually killed him. And when he's saying to his mama, he's talking about his girlfriend. He had a girlfriend named Mama. That's who he was. I saw he was crying for when he.
You know what? Because when I was listening, and I'm like, man, this stuff is dumb. That man was crying out for his mother.
He said he had a girlfriend named Mama. That's who he was crying out. But I'm saying, but that all that evidence would have been in the trial, right? All that evidence would have been in the trial.
Hey, brother, I'm gonna send you a link to that stuff. All that stuff wasn't a trial. It's a documentary. I'm gonna send you a link when it covers that. Because Mike reviewed it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. All I thought was in the trial.
Right.
And they still found him guilty. So they obviously the jury deemed that footage to be faulty or false. Because if the footage is showing that he wasn't on his neck, was on his shoulder blade, then he didn't kill him like that. If they're saying he,
I know, but what they're saying though is they're saying that, like they're saying, I forgot the guy's name. The officer contributed to his death, but it wasn't like 100% because he had fentanyl in the system. He had over the deadly amount in the system, the legal the amount of is the number 3. That's like supposed to cause you death, but he actually had 11 in it, so it was like almost quadruple. Because they show a clip and when he was actually in the vehicle, and he was in the back. He said, "Put me on the ground. I can't breathe." So he was already saying he couldn't breathe. You know what I mean? Before he was on the ground.
So how exactly did the cop contribute to his death?
I mean, what they're saying is that the jury. What the dude's from is like the jury found enough fault with the officer that he was negligent and stuff like that, which is odd. You know what I'm saying? Like, but those are extra like clips because those are from body cam footage that from other officers, and they show that stuff in the trial. I'm gonna send you a link so you can see it.
Okay.
Probably after the death, like no CPR, no like damn, we didn't mean to do all this. Like they probably didn't have no remorse, like just leave them there, whatever. It's the same usual as with Ben.
Yeah, but the footage that we saw was that he had his knee on his neck, and that was contributing to his breathing. Right? It wasn't no drugs in the system that was contributing to him not breathing. It was his knee on his neck. And his knee on his neck for what? Was it 8 minutes?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, 8 or 9 minutes.
8-9 minutes. And that was actually killed. He does a documentary saying that his knee was not on his neck, it was on his shoulder blade. It was on his shoulder blade, then it was not contributing to him not breathing. So he shouldn't be charged with murder. He should have been, well, the drugs was what's causing him not to breathe, and that's what ultimately killed him.
Right, but
You know what? I think
you know, like some footage of him when he was actually in the car, he actually asked to be on the ground.
That's what I'm saying.
I think the America would have went on one if that judge wouldn't have found him guilty, even if if he have the overdose amount in his system, that is questionable. But if he could have passed from that, I think the judge like, nah, not this time. You guilty. Because America gonna blow up.
No, the jury
don't find him guilty.
The jury found him guilty. Not the judge. It wasn't a judge trial. The jury trial.
Jury found him guilty.
The jury found him guilty
because he had that dude on his.
That means all 12.
All 12.
All 12 found him guilty. There wasn't one of them that said no. All 12 said yes.
They had to go in the room and go
and deliberate. Right. So all of them is like, I mean, that again, the evidence that Nathaniel is bringing up, they would have seen that evidence, and they saying something. So obviously, the prosecution dispelled that evidence to be false. That's not true.
Well, it didn't.
9 minutes on the neck.
No, because the dude did have it. Well, from what I saw, he had his knee on the.
I saw that too. I saw the knee on the neck.
If you've seen the documentary footage, that documentary footage is showing that his knee is not on his neck; it's on his shoulder blade. That's what that thing is saying.
So you saying that's doctored?
Yeah, I think that's doctored.
Wow.
I mean, that's clear evidence of him not killing him. The drug in the system is clear evidence that he died because he had drugs in his system.
And then that case would have went back to his drug dealer.
That's what I'm saying. They said when he pulled up on him, he was in his car with his drug dealer. I'm just saying, that's why I dismiss it, because that was presented in court. Obviously, the prosecution would have to dispel that evidence to be false and not true, because that's enough evidence to get him off. And it didn't.
And it has to be within a reason of a doubt, right? So all they need is to doubt it.
That's it, right? And even if it doesn't, you can show it now, and it can show you new evidence to show you that he didn't kill him. You know what I'm saying? The documentary can be new evidence presented in the case to get him released.
So you can overturn.
The conviction, but again, that's not happening.
It's not going to happen because
what
they saw on that tape, the way he had that. That's not going to happen.
I mean, the evidence is clear. His knee was on his neck.
And the way he had his hands in his pocket. That right there shuts it all that down. You had your hands in your pocket, you looking around like this, like you didn't give a, you know what. And your boy.
Yeah, the Asian dude.
Little rice throw pick or whatever.
Javon, come on, bro.
Come on.
But like protecting them, like, man, that was bad. That was bad, right there.
Yeah.
Nobody said nothing. I mean,
but anyway, I was having to send you the link. If anybody wants the link to the documentary, I can send it to you as well, for forward it to you if you want to check the documentary out.
Actually, I do want to check it out myself personally.
Yeah, I mean, I had downloaded it. You can download it on. You can download it. I downloaded it online. You download it with U-Turn. Any one of these touring sites is on there. You download the whole documentary and see for you. Take a look at it for yourself. You know what I'm saying?
And they just now going to trial, huh? The other two officers. I mean, I heard they was recently going to be trial or
So all
something.
that's done. All that's done. I think they took a plea or something or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Take a plea for less of time or something. You know how they do it.
Yeah, then they officers.
Anyway, let's go back to Genesis 49.
Con.
We put the read verse
10.
verse 10.
Genesis chapter 49 and verse 10. And the scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor a lawgiver from between his feet until Shiloh comes. And unto him shall the gathering of the people be.
All right, so the scepter is speaking about the rulership. Right? It's not going to, or the rulership that's in Judah, in the land of Judah, shall not depart from Judah, nor a lawgiver from between his feet, until Shiloh comes. Do we know who Shiloh is? Shiloh, yes, sir.
Well, I was gonna say Hamashiach.
Yeah, Shiloh, some people say the Tanakh only not going to say that. They think Shiloh is the land location where the tabernacle was when it came out of the wilderness, which doesn't make no sense. It says until Shiloh comes. It can't be a stationary location because the verse is saying that Shiloh was moving. He's coming, right? That's not stationary. So it can't be a location on the map. Again, Tanakh only would say that because they don't want to acknowledge Hamashiach Yahushua. But you ask anyone who Shiloh is.
Let's say Yahushua.
No, actually Tanakh only.
Oh,
Yahushua.
they're gonna say David.
You know, it's
They're gonna say David, they're gonna say some location.
Oh,
Yeah, they can't prove it's David. They're gonna say that's a location where the tabernacle was. Man.
They wouldn't say New Jerusalem
I won't say that like
because Yahushua is delivering it from heaven.
they all kind of crafty answers just to not acknowledge Hamashiach.
And in the name Shiloh, it was supposed to be peace. Shiloh, supposed to be peace.
Yeah. But we gonna get a verse on that. So the rulership depart from Judah until Shiloh comes, or a lawgiver from between his feet until Shiloh comes. So we had people who gave laws, lawgivers coming out of Judah. Hold on. Okay, let's get the Shiloh verse. Then we get Ezekiel 21. Ezekiel 21, verse 27. Then we get the rest of the verse. Okay, let's deal with the Shiloh incident.
Ezekiel 21.
Ezekiel chapter 21, verse 20. This is how it reads, and this is how we read and understand it in the book of in the Septuagint. People disagree with it, some disagree with it, some agree with it. Some people think it's just a nickname for the Messiah. But this more kind of sets the record straight. This is much more accurate. Ezekiel chapter 21, verse 27. Who got that? Who got Ezekiel 21?
I'll take this one. Ezekiel chapter 21, verse 7.
27.
Verse 27 reads, I will overturn it, and it shall be no more until he come whose right it is, and I will give it him.
Okay, so that's 31:27.
No, he said 31.
Oh,
No, you got the right thing.
I think I got 21.
That was 21, 27.
21. It's
Turn.
21, not 31. 31:27. Okay. Read it one more time.
Con.
Call it out to.
Hold on,
Ezekiel chapter 21, verse 27.
1 second.
You
Let's
said 21 or 31?
21. 21, 27. All right. Hey, Shabbat Shalom, T Miles.
Hey, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom, brothers.
We're in Ezekiel chapter 21, verse 27. Ezekiel chapter 21, verse 27. We're dealing with Shiloh. All right. Read it again, Tony.
Come. Ezekiel chapter 21, verse 27. It reads, I will overturn.
I would overturn. So whoever's on the throne, God's going to overturn it. Go ahead. We're
Overturn.
going to overturn it again. Go ahead.
Overturn it. And it shall be no more.
And it shall mean it's gonna cease for a minute. Right?
Come.
It's gonna cease, it's gonna stop. You're gonna keep turning it over and turning it over. All right? Go ahead.
Until he come whose right it is, and I will give it him.
Right. That's what we get in here. This is clearly speaking of the Messiah. Right. So we had kings of Judah on the throne. Knocked them off, right? You had knocked them off, right? Then you had a king in Israel, you had a king that ruled over there, which was not even an Israelite. Herod was king, King Herod, right? Flip that over, overturn that nonsense. You know what I'm saying? Nobody ruling in there. And it laid, like it is now, it laid dormant. Then he goes on to say, until he come, whose right it is. We know they actually belong to the Messiah. He says, and I'm going to give it. That's what Shiloh was talking about. Until Shiloh comes, not the Messiah. So we see the process of it being overturned from Israel. It was ruled by Herod, and it was desolate, like it is now. They will use the Hamashiach Yahushua. That's what it's saying when Shiloh comes, right? Let's go back to Genesis 49.
Which is like kingdom come that will be done on earth as it is in heaven.
Yeah, but again, this is how the Septuagint reads it. Some people disagree with it, but I don't know why. But this is the most plausible explanation for the verse. Until Shiloh comes, we know it's fucking speaking of the Messiah, right? Genesis 49, verse 10, the last part says, it says, and unto him shall the gathering of the people be. So we see that Shiloh here, the verse is spelling as a him, and unto him. So we see as a person, shall the gathering of the people be. So again, it's not gathering. This English word gathering is the Hebrew word yikha, Yikhah, and yikha is not gathering. Yikha is obedience or submission. Unto him shall be the obedience and the submission of the people. The text actually said, right? That's what the text actually said. Unto him shall be the obedience and the submission of the people. So when Christ came in the first century, the people of Israel should have been obedient and been submitting to him. This is what the text is saying. That's what they should have done unto the Messiah. But see, because they didn't view him as the Messiah, then it was not being obedient and submissive to him. But those who viewed him as the Messiah, they were obedient and submissive to him, correct?
Like John.
Huh?
Like John.
Like John, like the apostles and all the believers in Christ, they was obedient and was submissive to him because they viewed him as the Messiah.
Who says thou I am?
as the text says right here, what you're supposed to do. Again, I'm gonna get another verse to back it up again, that it says it again. This verse says it, right? So let's get another verse to back it. So let's get Deuteronomy 18. Deuteronomy the 18th chapter, and they get verse 16 to 19. So the verse do not say gathering of the people to be. It's obedience and submission. Got to be, because remember, at this time, the nation was scattered. The nation did not all come out of their scattering and come to Jerusalem. And no, you got to be submissive and obedient to Christ. And this is why Tanakh only people are sinning. All Tanakh all Tanakh only brothers and sisters who don't believe in Hamashiach Yahushua, meaning the man that came in the first century, because Tanakh only, they are messianic. They just don't believe the man that came in the first century that he's the Messiah. They believe he still ain't came yet. So they are messianic, just don't believe one in the first century is the Messiah. And that's why they're sinning. Because he is the Messiah, and the text says you're supposed to be submissive and obedient to him. Anyone that didn't believe, anyone that did not adhere to what Christ said, submit to him, be obedient to what he's saying, you are sinning according to what Torah said. You're automatically sinning when you don't listen to what he's saying. That's why we go to the situation. That's why when I do with the more than one wife thing, I say Christ said more than one wife is a sin. And once he says it, it's over. You can't go pull what David did. You can't go pull what Solomon did. You can't go pull what Abraham. You can't go pull what Jacob. You can't go pull what nobody did in the Old Testament. Once Christ said that that's the sin. 2 women. The case is shut down, closed, because this verse is right here. You have to be obedient and submissive to him, to what he said. Case come closed. Yes, sir.
Well, the GMS say the whole law hang on the 2, and then their understanding of that is that those are the only 2 laws that we have to follow.
That don't make no sense.
I know that.
That's dumb.
Wow.
Do we have Deuteronomy 18?
Come.
Let's start at verse 16.
Deuteronomy chapter 18 and verse 16. Verse 16. Verse 16. According to all that thou desires of the Lord, thou God in him, heaven in the day of the assembly.
I was telling you about it. Start at verse 15, Yabana.
Verse 15.
Come.
The Lord thou God will raise up unto thee a prophet from the midst of thee, of thy brethren, like unto me, unto him he shall hearken.
Right. So Moses is telling them God going to raise up a prophet. So Hamashiach Yahushua is a prophet. When you see people call Christ the Son of Man is a title for a prophet. Son of Man means prophet. I want to clarify, all right? See, you have people who believe Christ come through sex and they hear that verse, Son of Man, and said, Son of Man meaning he's the son of a human being. Because you don't understand the Bible.
Wow. Yeah.
Son of Man is not talking about he's the son of a carnal man. It's a phrase to say that he's a prophet.
I never knew that.
No, let me prove it. You know me. I don't say something, don't prove it. Let me prove it. See if I'm making stuff up. Yes, sir.
But 2, the Most High is a man of war, so he could be considered a man also, because Son of Man, man of
No,
war.
man, male.
Come, all that face.
That means male.
It's male. Come.
Right. He's male.
Come.
Come.
Okay.
He's a male. He's not a fleshly man.
Come.
Right. He's a masculine entity, a masculine spirit. That's what that's saying when he said the Lord is a man of war. He's a masculine entity, a masculine spirit. We know that the Most High God is not a fleshly human being.
Come.
That don't make no sense at all. What's up?
He's just a male. You know.
Right, he's male. People out here think that, some people think that he's both.
Male
This
and
is
female.
just- yeah, you have certain Bibles that have in there when it says God's name, and it has he, she.
Come.
Where it says God at, they took God out and they put he/she there. He, she.
Well, they say the tetragrammaton is masculine, both masculine and feminine.
That's just the name, abbreviated.
Come.
Yeah.
So that's not saying male and female.
No, but we say our Father. We don't say
Our
our
Father.
We don't say our mother.
No.
We say our mother.
No.
But I have heard some Christians who talk about they misunderstanding. I know exactly what it is. The misunderstanding of the bride of the Most High. So we know that that's the church, and he calls the church his
Well, the
bride.
bride, the church is Christ's body.
Well, they consider Christ and the Most High one and the same.
Gotcha.
So, God.
Gotcha.
God.
Yeah, let's get Numbers 23.
And then another thing, they don't say it, our father and our mother.
Come.
We don't say that.
Come.
But I
The
think
only people that say stuff like that is Catholics.
Holy Mother of God.
Yes, Mother Mary, foolishness.
It's the rosary beads.
Holy Mother.
Mary,
That's
Mother,
what I
Mother of
think. That's what
God.
got Fredo Corleone shot in that boat. And the Godfather, he was praying, Holy Mother of God, and then oh boy, boom.
So Numbers 23, verse 19 is what we want. Again, son of man is a phrase for a prophet. Again, when you wanna stick to your misinformation, your doctrine, you try to quote any verse to make it and twist it to make it say what you want it to say. But this is what they try to pull on me about. What it says right here, son of man. That means he's son of a man. He came through sex, he's son of a man. That's just foolishness. It's nonsense.
You said Numbers chapter 23, verse 19?
Yes, sir.
I'll take this one. You did? Yeah. Numbers chapter 23 and verse 19. God is not a man.
Wait, hold it, brother. You just quoted where it says that God is a man of war. This verse is God is not a man. See, that's why you got to put the verses together, right? It said the Lord is a man of war. This verse says God is not a man. See, that's why you have to explain and tell them what the verse is saying when it says that the Lord is a man. He's talking about he's a male entity. He's not a physical. He's not a fleshly man. This verse right here says what?
That he's not a man.
He's not a man. He's not a fleshly man. Right? Go ahead.
I'm gonna start that one over. God is not a man that he should lie.
Yeah, right. God is not a man that he should lie. God don't have to lie. Do he have to lie? Can no one do him anything, right? He don't have to lie to nobody or lie. There's no reason for the Most High to lie. There's no one stronger than him, smarter than him. You can't do him nothing. Never able to do him anything. So he doesn't have to lie. People lie for many reasons because maybe this person can do him something. He got more power than you. Whatever they take trying to save your life. Most High, all that don't apply to him. None of that apply to him. He can lie to nobody. He tell you what it is and this is what it is. You don't like it, then that's on you. You can't do him nothing. So God is not a man that he should lie. Basically, not saying that lying is just a human being thing, because Satan lies, he's a spiritual being, right? But basically what he's saying is that that's gonna exist in the realm of men. You know what I'm saying? Even though we know Satan does that too, because he's acting like a man. He's coming off of his spiritual eternal life aspect and lowering himself down when he starts lying.
Is this the man?
Right, you know what I'm saying? That's basically a human thing. That's basically what his verse trying to get you. You know what I'm saying? That lying, stuff like that. So God is not a man that he should lie. Go ahead.
Neither the Son of Man that he should repent.
Neither the Son of Man that he should repent. Now, if Son of Man just simply means a man who was born by who's the son of a fleshly man, do man need to repent? This verse said that the Son of Man shouldn't repent.
No, the Son of Man will have to
repent. You have to repent.
Flesh.
But if this Son of Man is speaking of a prophet of God, right? Should he repent? When you're a prophet, he's speaking God's word. You can't come back and say, well, nah, I made a mistake, that I was wrong. No. You speaking God's word, you should never come back and say that I was wrong. Never should say that. That's why the Son of Man is a prophet. He should not repent because he's speaking the words of God. And he should never come back and say that I was wrong. Yes, sir.
That goes back to Johanna earlier.
Yeah.
It was like, you should already know this stuff saying you third in line.
I mean, another verse back up what I'm saying. Before they're trying to say, I kind of see, but I need one more. I have one more. I have one more. Let's get the book of Ezekiel, chapter 2. Let's get Ezekiel chapter 2. Then we're gonna come back to where you at in Deuteronomy. We gotta finish that off. We're gonna come back to
what was that,
Deuteronomy 18. And you start at verse 15. Let's get the book of Ezekiel chapter 2. That's what the Most High calls Ezekiel. Then chapter 2, let me make sure. Chapter 2, I think chapter 2, verse 1. Calls it. Yeah, read that. Ezekiel chapter 2, Ezekiel chapter 2, verse 1. Hey, who got that? So we can move it.
I get it.
Go ahead.
Ezekiel chapter 2 from the top. And he said unto me, Son of man.
You said unto him what?
Son of man.
Go ahead.
Stand up thy feet, and I will speak unto thee.
So calling him son of man is a term for a prophet. Ezekiel is a prophet. He ain't just calling him the son of a random man. If he's son of man, which man? It's like a random term. You know what I'm saying?
Son of a man.
Son of man, which man? That's why it's specifically talking about a prophet. It's a label and a term for a prophet. This is what this term is, this title of this phrase is speaking of. When Christ is called a son of man, he's speaking of a prophet. Because remember, Christ held 3 offices, right?
King,
priest, and prophet. No one have ever fulfilled or held all 3 offices at the same time. Only him. That's why he is the Messiah. You had other messiahs. Kings were Messiah, and it was anointed. Messiah just means anointed. Kings were anointed. Prophets, I think, were anointed. Even, I think, lepers were anointed.
Oh, yeah.
For the cleansing.
Yeah, okay.
Right? That would just mean Messiah.
Which leper?
There you go. That's why Christ is the Messiah. That definite article D sets him apart from any other anointing, right? The king was anointed with olive oil, right? And I think also the prophet was as well. And I think even the leper was. Christ was anointed with the Holy Spirit. Different anointing. His anointing is something, it's not olive oil. It's just something bigger. That's why he's the Messiah. Sets him apart. Right. That's why you have to say Ha Mashiach. Ha is the. He's not just Mashiach. He's Ha Mashiach.
The anointed.
The anointed.
The anointed.
That definitely article sets him apart from everyone else that's anointed. Right? You have to have that Ha Mashiach in there, otherwise you're not doing the Messiah justice when you're giving him that title.
That's why when I say when we do the anointing prayer, Hamashiach, Hashem Hamashiach Yahushua. When we say Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Bahashem Hamashiach.
There you go.
Yeah.
And we got to start doing that more. You know, when we salute each other and stuff.
Because we say Yahweh Bashem Yahushua.
Yeah.
But we should be saying Yahweh Bashem Hamashiach Yahushua.
Hamashiach Yahushua.
Let's go back to Deuteronomy.
Okay.
Deuteronomy 18. Let's read verse 15 again. So we get this understanding here, right? So when it says a prophet is the son of, this is another phrase for that, son of man. Deuteronomy 18, read verse 15 again.
Deuteronomy chapter 18, verse 15. The Lord thy God will raise up unto thee a prophet from the midst of thee, of thou brethren like unto me, unto him ye shall hearken.
Unto this prophet, this son of man, say you have to hearken. God is saying to Moses, saying you have to listen to him. When you see this word hearken, this word in the Hebraic understanding of hearken is to listen and obey.
Listen and obey.
Both.
Or
This
listen
is the Hebraic understanding of this word when it's spoken. It ain't just, we gonna just listen to him and go about our business. No. That's not what the Hebrew phrase is saying. You have to listen to what he's saying, right? And then do it. That's why it's important to get culture and background in a particular culture, because our culture, they have certain words, but their words have a lot of meaning just by saying it in their culture. In your culture, you might just think that he just said just listen to him. We heard him. You ain't doing what he's saying. In the Hebraic culture, that's not what this word is conveying to you at all. All Hebrews would know. When you say hearken, that means and obey. Hear and obey. They would know that. But if you don't know Hebraic culture, you go think, oh man, he just listen to him, man. No, that's because you don't understand the Hebraic culture and what the book is actually conveying to you. you get a misunderstanding. All right, go ahead, Yvonne.
Verse 16.
Yes.
Verse 16. According to all that thou desirest of the Lord thou God in Horeb, in the day of the Lord assembly, say, let me not hear again the voice of the Lord my God, neither let me see this great fire anymore, that I die not.
Right. So when Moses was talking the Ten Commandments down, and the mountain was on fire, and the trumpets was all loud and all that, the Most High was too loud. They was gonna die. So they said, "Hey, God gotta stop talking, because we know this great fire is a lot, and he's extra loud, and because they was gonna die." So he said, "Hey." They said, Moses, you go there and hear what God is saying. You come back and tell us. We'll accept that. This is what they desire. They desire someone. In other words, they desire a mediator. They desired a mediator. What they were telling Moses. It's always been a mediator between God and man. In this time, it was Moses, right? And Paul then come tell us Christ is actually another mediator. There's always been a mediator between God and man. You just can never just go right up to God. There's always a buffer or someone before you get to the Most High God. And right now, it's Hamashiach Yahushua. That's the person we got to go through, right? Christ said, no man come to the Father but by me.
Who was it before Moses?
Before Moses would have been Jacob.
Okay.
Before him would have been Isaac. And it was in Abraham. Before Abraham would have been Melchizedek. Before him would have been probably Shem or Noah. Right, and before then you would have Enoch, Abraham, Adam, so on and so forth. But there's always
the greats,
someone, the great, someone in between that you would then go to get the revelation and information from God. Always what it was. At some point there was the prophets, you know what I'm saying, people like that, or for the most part, it would have been the priests. You would go to the priest, you know what I'm saying, and he would take your offering or your request to the Most High. They will also be considered mediators too as well, the priests.
And then the judges too.
The
judges.
Yeah, the judges will be considered them too as well. You know what I'm saying? Right? All right. Go ahead, Yabana.
Verse 17.
Yes.
Verse 17. And the Lord said unto me, they have well spoken that which they have spoken.
So the Lord concurred. The Lord said, yeah, you speaking right. If I keep talking, you guys are gonna die. And you want a prophet and mediator. Okay, yeah. The Lord said, yeah, that's correct. You was spoken that correctly. All right, go ahead.
Can I ask this question?
Yes, sir.
So what do you think he was saying to them at that time? Was he saying the 10 Commandments to them at that time?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Verse 18. I will raise them up a prophet from amongst their brethren, like unto thee.
Like unto Moses. Go ahead.
And will put my words in his mouth, and he shall speak unto them all that I shall command him.
So everything that Christ says is whose word?
Father's.
The Most High word. God's word. That's why when you don't listen to Christ, you're not listening to the Most High. That's why it's a sin. So again, when I'm dealing with more than one wife thing, I said Christ said it. I said if Christ is saying it, then the Most High is saying it. Where's the argument? In this world from now, God allow you to have more than one wife. But when Christ said it, then it's a wrap for them. It's over because God is saying it. Yes, sir.
And this is how you know that there's a difference between the Most High and the Son. This is how you know, because he's saying my words. I'm going to put his words in Yahweh's mouth.
Right. Again, and this is another reason why Tanakh only sinning. They're not listening to this man that God put his words in his mouth.
Wow. Oh, there it is right there. Well, that's full circle.
That's why you got to be obedient and submissive to what he's saying, because he's speaking the words of the Father.
A prophet from amongst the brethren.
From among the men, right? Yes, you have to be an Israelite, can't be a foreigner among their brethren. All right, last verse, Yabana.
Verse 19. And it shall come to pass that whosoever will not hearken unto my words, which he shall speak in my name, I will require of him, require it of him.
Right. There's gonna come to pass that whosoever, that's anybody. Again, that's male and female. That's not the sisters out. The women, some of them slick. No, that's for the man. No, that's for you too. You too, sister. You too. Whosoever. You too.
Mankind.
Well, not hearken, meaning without listen and obey. Listen and obey to my words, which he shall speak. What in my name? This shows you what. When Christ was speaking, he was speaking and he was mentioning the Father's name. He was telling them the Most High's name. They knew, and it tells you in St. John, it says, I'll manifest your name to them. He told them what the Most High name was. See, in first century, we knew what the Most High name was. It wasn't like it is today. Someone is saying Yahweh, this one is saying Ahaya, this one is saying Yahuwah, this one is saying Yahweh. This is when it's all kind of different names. Wow. We knew what the name was in the first century. The Messiah was telling us what the name was. There was no confusion like we have today. Wow. Abba. Spain, my name. It's a title. Abba, his father's a title. He actually spoke the Most High's name. He said, speak in my name. He said, I will require it. I'm going to come to you right now, Yabana. He said, I will require it of them. Require it means that there's going to be search made if you are in compliance with what Christ said, or you're not in compliance with what he said. He said, I will require it of you, meaning I'm going to see if you were doing it, so I'm going to check. Messiah said this. You heard it. Did you do it? You're going to check. We have the records. Wow. Ooh. And if you're not in compliance with what he said, it's a lake for you. Wow.
Hey, the spirit goes there.
That's what it's gonna be. Yes, your body. You want to say something, brother?
I was gonna say what you were just saying just a second, that the sisters will say that that's for you, brother. And then, you said it's for man and a woman. And I'm just saying that since the woman came from our rib, that matter of fact, it is for both of us, but it's really for you, for the both of us.
Both, yeah, both of us. Come on.
Both. So require means check and see.
Huh?
Require means to check and see.
Require means going to be diligent inquiry made to see if you're in compliance or not. Require means that's what you need. You're supposed to be doing, right?
Your job.
Right, your job. Wow. This is what you're supposed to be doing. I require you to do X, Y, Z. I require this of you. So inquiry is going to be made. They say, I will require it of you, meaning this is what I need you to do. This is what I want you to do. This is what I command you to do. Listen to what this man is saying. And do it. Let's not forget that part. That's the important part, is doing it. Right? A lot of people with this get the knowledge, but not with the application. It's useless if you're not applying it.
Application of knowledge.
Yeah, useless.
It'd be like some of the people that like, yeah, I hear you, dog. I hear you. They not hearing you. They just heard the words that came out of your mouth because it was a certain value. They don't value.
I'm telling you, you have a lot of men in Israel that can teach. And there's a version of Apocrypha that tells you, they say that there's one that's eloquent with his words. They say the one that can teach real good, but to himself is unprofitable. His teaching is real good, his wisdom and all of that, but it's not helping him. And I'm reading, how come he's saying all this wise stuff? How come it ain't helping him? Because he ain't applying it. He can teach it to you real good. He's smart. Wow. He's excellent with teaching. Wow. But he ain't applying it. Saying it ain't helping him.
Lack of application.
You know what I'm saying?
Lack of application.
Lack of application. Yeah, the verse says there's one that teaches good and can talk real good, but yet it's unprofitable. It ain't profiting him because he ain't even applying it. Don't be that person.
That kind of, I can't point out a group, but certain so-called Christians.
That motto is do as I say, don't do as I do type of situation. You know what I'm saying?
Come.
And let's go back. So we have that. So we clear matter of fact, let's get it. We need to get it so we can be clear. Let's come to the renewed testament. Let's get St. John chapter 12. Let the Messiah himself tell you, we can concur. This is exactly what he said when he came. All right, St. John chapter 12, we get verse 48 through 50. St. John chapter 12, verse 48 through 50, what we going to get.
The first John.
Yeah, St. John. That's why I said St. John, because you have St. John's, 1 John, 2 John, 3 John. And we have Revelations, because that was also written by the same man. We're going to St. John.
You said St. John chapter 12,
Verse 48 through 50.
You should set it more.
St. John, chapter 12, verse 48.
As a matter of fact, let's read up, man. We get some context. Let's start at verse 44. Let's get some of this context real quick. St. John chapter 12, verse 44. We're going to start there. We're going to read down to verse 50.
St. John, chapter 14,
Chapter
12, verse 44.
Yeah, read loud for the microphone.
Come.
You said verse 44?
Come.
St. John, chapter 12, verse 44, and it reads, Jesus cried and said, he that believeth on me, believeth not on me, but on him that sent me.
There he is. You believing on Christ, you actually believing on the Father, right? You believing on him that who? Sent me. Again, you cannot send yourself. Can you send yourself?
Wow, no.
That's separation there. Two different entities. Someone sent Christ. He didn't send himself. Yes, sir.
So Christ is an apostle of the Most High.
There you have it. Come. He's called the apostle too. I think he was calling the apostle.
Wow.
Another verse that shows you that he's not the Father. These Christians just don't understand the Bible.
Wow, that's awesome.
God.
That's awesome. Wow.
Oh, he's also called high priest. A high priest is a priest to a deity. A high priest ain't a priest to himself.
Come. That's good.
Who's he gonna be a priest to if he's a high priest? If he's God too, he's God and the high priest. That don't make no sense.
Wow.
That don't make no sense at all.
He might as well just have all the
You know,
offices.
you know
if he
what
don't
I'm
do it like that.
Prophet.
Go ahead, Tony.
Come.
45.
Verse 45, it reads, and he that seeth me, seeth him that sent me.
He have seeth me, seeth him that sent me. Again, this is how we talk. Is how we talk?
Come.
I see you.
Come.
This is language. This is inside code that we talk with each other. That we get what you're saying. Yes, sir.
And we also say stuff like, you the spit image of your father.
Yeah. I mean, if you understand me, then you understand the Father. Right? Go ahead.
46. I am come a light unto the world, that whosoever believeth on me shall not abide in darkness.
That's the problem. See, people that don't believe in Christ don't even know that they're in darkness, bro.
Wow.
You don't even know you in darkness.
Sleep.
Because the information of this world is false.
Sleep.
This is false information. You think it is light. No, it's darkness. Not light. Go ahead.
Come. 47. And if any man hear of my word and believe not, I judge him not, for I come not to judge the world, but to save the world.
Yeah, but I came not to judge the world, but to save the world. Again, this world is Israel. All that can be proven. You know, all that can be proven. Okay. We know so-called according to the Bible, the nation of Esau, they're not getting saved. They all gonna die. Obadiah says this. They're not gonna be saved. All right, go ahead.
48. He that rejecteth me,
Oh, yeah, you're right.
he that rejecteth me and receiveth not my word, have one that judgeth him. The word that I have spoken, the same shall judge him in the last day.
And when he gonna judge him? The last day. We just came out of the last day. The last day is the 8th day of the Feast of Tabernacles. It's called the great day, the last day. That's when the Mashiach Yahushai is tending to return, right? In tabernacle. See, for him to come in tabernacle with us. And that 8th day, when that 8th day comes, the word that Christ is going to judge you. That's when inquiry is going to be made if you are in compliance or you're not in compliance with what Christ said. As Deuteronomy said, I will require it of you. Christ said in that day, the word that I speak is going to judge you in the last day. That's a reference to the 8th day of tabernacles. And it's called the same thing.
That's in Deuteronomy. What verse? What's the precept of that?
To what?
You said in the last day.
The last day, that's
48.
right here.
Yeah, but you said it was Deuteronomy, the precept of that.
No, Deuteronomy is where he says, I require it of you.
Oh, come.
The requirement means I'm going to take diligent search to find out what you if you're in compliance or not. The last, let me get the verse. The verse is right up here. It's in Christ talks about this in the book of St. John. Let me get it for you right quick. I think it's 7 or 8. He talks about this day. The last day. The last day of the feast. We went over this a couple weeks ago. It was a couple weeks ago. We got the mist, and let me get the last. And
Verse 7.
You
said in verse 7?
No, St. John chapter 7, verse 37. Let's get that. St. John chapter 7, let's get verse 37. This is all speaking of the Feast of Tabernacles.
St. John chapter 7.
Yeah, verse 37.
St. John chapter 7 and verse 37. In the last days, that great day of the feast.
In the last day, the great day of the Feast of Tabernacles. It's the 8th day. Right? Fact check me. All right, that's Leviticus 23, verse 33 to 36 tells you this. And Numbers 29, verse 12 through 40 tells you this. The last day, that great day of the feast. You see here, he got the same phrase, the last day. It's the 8th day. Right? And let me get one more.
You said that's Numbers 39.
Numbers 29,
Okay, 29.
verse 12 through 40 talks about that. And then Leviticus 23, verse 33 through 36 tells you the same thing. And we're going to get one more here in St. John chapter 6, verse 54. We get St. John chapter 6, verse 54. Then we're going to go back to St. John chapter 12. St. John chapter 6, verse 54.
St. John's chapter 6 and verse 54. He that eateth my
Whoso,
I thought it was 56, I'm sorry. No. Whoso eateth my flesh and drinketh my blood has eternal life, and I will raise him up at that last day.
he's going to raise him up at the last day. The last day again is you just read what it was, right?
Tabernacle.
It's the 8th day, the great day of the feast. That's when we're going to have that resurrection Paul talks about of the twinkling of an eye. That's when that's going to happen. That 8th day of the feast, tabernacles, right? We're going to raise him up the last day. He that eat my flesh and drink my blood is another term to consume my information. We consume my information as a further you eating my flesh. Again, these are Hebraic concepts that if you don't know Hebraic culture and concept, you are not going to understand these things. Because he's not literally saying for you to eat his flesh, that's cannibalism. But people who hate Christ, when you just verse and say, man, see, he's talking about eating his flesh. That's cannibalism, man. That's because you don't understand Hebraic culture. Yes, sir.
Dick Gregory was one of the ones that didn't believe in the Christ. Not Dick Gregory, because he was saying something about this scripture. Yeah, he talking about eating his flesh and drinking his blood. That's.
He just don't understand the Bible.
Mhm.
Many don't understand the verbiage in the Bible, but again, because they don't understand culture. They're in this Western mind state. It's killing them. It's killing them.
And he was friends with Hugh Hefner too.
Yeah, it's killing them. How you gonna read a Eastern perspective culture book with a Western mind frame? You're not gonna understand. You don't make no. Who does that? That's why people in China, different thing, they try to understand certain verbiage in the ghetto over here, they don't get it. Because you don't understand the culture in the ghetto and how we talk to each other. You have to put yourself with the ghetto culture and the ghetto verbiage and how we talk, and then you would get to what is called the ghetto code. Oh, that's called ghetto code.
G-code. Just like we would say the same, like, man, I eat that dude alive. Like we ain't talking about it.
Right. You're talking about literally, right. If you understand the culture, then you understand the verbiage you're talking. That's why people don't understand, you know what I'm saying, what we're saying. Right?
And we always have that gift with the slang and you know, so
we always talk slang, we always coming up with new slang. Ladies want this dude, ladies want us want the smoke. You want this, you want the smoke. We always coming up with new verbiage and slang all this time.
Always being big.
You know how we do.
Yeah.
Culture vultures. We got fleas on us.
Yeah. They always stealing our stuff, man, putting it in their movie and stuff. Remember Talk to the Hand? That was big back then. You know what I'm saying?
Even about it, and then they look stupid when they do it.
They can't get it right.
Can't get it right.
Even since this pandemic, they're saying like, man, give me 4 feet, bro. We give me 4 feet. Now give 4 feet. We give each other elbows. Now they giving each other elbows. We give each other that. They don't want to shake hands no more, coughing and all the corona floating around. Now they dad each other like, what was so wrong when we did it? I mean, now they women want big booties too, silicones.
Hey, Shabbat Shalom, Servant Smith.
Whoop-de-whoop. Shabbat Shalom.
That's another verbiage. That's another verbiage we came up with. Hey, you ain't cute with all that whoop-de-whoop. You know what I mean?
Hey, yo, I first heard that from y'all. That's the caliber. I had never heard that before.
That's old game, man. LA slang. Yeah. All right, let's go back to let's finish up with St. John chapter 12. So we're reading St. John chapter 12.
Now somebody was reading. That wasn't me.
That was Tony.
Chapter 12.
Yeah, you in verse just read verse 48 again.
What book?
St. John chapter 12, verse 48.
St. John chapter 12, verse 48 reads, he that rejecteth me and receiveth not my word have one that judgeth him. The word that I have spoken, the same shall judge him in the last day.
Yeah. The last day you're going to get judged by the words of Christ. Again, Christ clearly said you can't have more than one wife. Clearly. He said a whole bunch of other stuff we can get into. You know what I'm saying? Christ says, I did not come to do away with the law. If you're saying the law done away with, you're clearly going against what he said. You're going to get judged in the last day on what he didn't say and what you're trying to say that he did. Because he never said he did away with the law. He said the words that I have spoken, you're going to judge you in the last day. You can't come in Christ and say, well, I believe in you, but you did it with the law. Say, yeah, I didn't say that. Did I say that? Where did I say that at? Well, Paul said, did I say that? Who you following? Paul or me? Which one is it? What is it? You following Paul? Is it Paul you following or you following me? Christian Messiah is Paul. They don't believe in the man called Christ, Mashiach Yahushua. Mashiach Yahushua. They don't believe in him. They believe in Paul.
They don't subscribe.
And they misunderstanding Paul, which made it even worse.
Because he's saying Mashiach Yahushua.
Yeah. So the words that Christ said, he's going to judge you in the last day. Go ahead, Tony.
Verse 49. John, verse 12. John chapter 12, verse 49. For I have not spoken of myself, but the Father's which sent me. He gave me a commandment, what I should say and what I should speak.
Yeah. So we see Christ himself is under orders. The Most High commanded him and told him what to say. He ain't saying what he want to say. He's under orders himself.
Gave me a command.
Gave him a command. What it didn't give him a suggestion. That's not what it said. So give him a commandment. A commandment is an order. You know, in the military, when you're in the military and the officer said, I need to do this. And you might be like, well, why? And he said, that's an order. When he say that to you, that means what? Shut down, stop talking,
right,
and go do it.
Right.
That's what that means. That's an order. A commandment is just that. It's an order. That means shut down, stop back talking, and go do it.
Orders, consequences.
That's what that means right there. Commandments are orders. You gotta put something in the military frame for some people to get it.
Mm-hmm.
So he was.
So he didn't give suggestions.
Say again?
So he didn't give us the 10 suggestions.
No, sir.
Sir.
No, sir. 10 commandments, 10 orders. Comply. Stop back talking and just do it. Yes, sir.
And if he was talking to himself, he would have suggested that he do that. Not giving himself a commandment.
Mm-hmm. Commandment, he told what to say, what I should speak. Go ahead.
50. And I know that this commandment is life everlasting.
And he knows his what? His commandment, meaning his order.
Forever.
Is what?
Forever.
Is life everlasting. The 10 commandments is life everlasting. Look what this verse is telling you.
I just heard I forget my brother when he said he would have been talking to himself if there was a suggestion, right? What came to my mind is that, man, when he gave the commandment, that means it's not even up for negotiation. Like, I'm not even gonna think about what I'm saying to you. This, like what you're saying is like, when I say this, that's what it is. Is no, well, maybe like we can negotiate on this. You know what I mean? Like he just told him to do it. But because I think sometimes like at least down here, some of the Sunday churches, there's like, well, since we in the age, what they call it, they say the age of grace or something, dispensation of grace. Now we can do this, we can do that. Like the commandments change because we're in some type of dispensation. I don't know if you ever heard that before. You ever heard somebody say that word?
I heard that before.
So I think is that I don't even know what that is, but they think like times change, so now the commandments is up for negotiation, so to speak.
They have a misunderstanding of this dispensation of grace that they claiming that they don't. Grace, the English word is a Greek word, charis, charis, and it means favor. Fact check me. It means favor, right? So that means favor. Favor means show something I've been shown with the people or group of people. Favor. That's what it means. We're on the favor of the Most High, and that's I came through His Son Christ. Without Him, you wouldn't be under that. They think grace. This English word grace, they equate it to this bank situation where the bank give you a grace period. If you don't have your money on time, I'm extending a little, I'm giving you a little more time to get your payment in. This kind of what they're trying to equate this kind of stuff to.
That's how I understood it.
Yeah, no, that's not what this is, bro. No, that's not what this is.
Oh man.
No.
Yeah, that'll throw you way off
Yeah,
too.
no.
The wrong understanding of grace.
It's not.
That's like I can wild out into the third coming.
Right.
I can wild out. You know, I have time to wild out because you know what I'm saying. I'm on that extended period. You know what I'm saying, to bring it in. Yeah. You can try it if you want to. The Bible is clear. It says God is not mocked.
It ain't saying.
Whatever a man sows, that's what he's going to reap. What is that? Yes, sir.
And that's God's word not returning back void onto him.
Come.
This is Christ carrying this out, verse 50 right here.
And I know his commandment is life everlasting. Listen, God don't give suggestions. Where's that in the Bible at? Where has God ever give a suggestion? Where have he ever done that ever? Where?
Wow.
God don't talk like that.
He don't make suggestions.
Suggestion? What are you talking about? He don't do that.
Yeah,
That's a human being foolishness right there.
Some mama will be telling you.
God knows exactly what he's saying. So what he's saying is all orders. It's all of his orders.
Wise counsel would give us.
Again, that's all he breaks. Listen, when you understand Hebrew culture, you understand how God talks. That's how he talks. Listen, and that's how you should be talking to your children. You tell them to do something. You didn't tell them maybe take the trash out.
Right.
You know what you're saying to him? No, take the trash out. Don't maybe do it.
We're on Friday.
And it's an order. It is don't talk back. Take the trash out. I need to hear nothing. I need to hear you something. You gotta go do this. No. Do that now. That's how it's supposed to go.
Later.
Right.
Not in a while.
Come.
Now.
Now let me check my phone first and send a text. None of that. Do it now.
Remember on Friday, he was like, I fell asleep. Like, now I wish she was sleeping right now. I'll wake you up with one of these will have hooks.
Yeah.
Make you take that trash out.
Let's finish off verse 50.
Come. Verse 50. And I know that his commandments is life everlasting whatsoever I speak. Therefore, even as the Father said unto me, so I speak.
There it is.
Come.
There it is. Whatever the Father said to Christ, that's what Christ is speaking and spoken. Again, these so-called, again, they're so-called Christians. They're not Christians. Let me just be clear. I want to be clear. These people that call themselves Christian, not one of them are Christians if they're saying the commandments are done away with. You're not no Christian. All the people who are called Christians, they all kept Torah and 10 Commandments. Every last one of them did. They came and argued that point. The text is clear. All the people who are called Christians kept Torah. This is after Christ. This is after Christ done died and left. This is years after Christ when they called the apostles Christian. This is like before Christ or right after. It was a week after Christ left. No. This is years after. Years after. At least maybe 10, 15 years after when they called them Christians. And they was at this time all keeping Torah. Every last one of them was. So Christians are Torah keepers. So if you telling me a Christian, you ain't a Torah keeper, you ain't no Christian. You a pagan.
Confused.
You confused and you a pagan. Simple as that. Because Christmas is pagan. Easter is pagan. Good Friday, pagan. Easter Sunday is pagan. Those are all pagan. Those are none of that's in the Bible. None of that's biblical.
Valentine's and all that.
All that's pagan.
Thanksgiving.
All that. Yes, sir.
What if those was just good suggestions from the church fathers? They seen the need for
No,
it.
those all come from pagan deities.
Okay. So
All the
that's
stuff that were pagan deities. Yeah, those are some kind of pagan ritual from another culture
who
that
let
they're
it in?
integrating into our culture.
Who let it in? Like the church fathers did, right?
No. The council of I see it, the council of even all these different councils, these men sit up there and compromise on different things.
Wow.
They did.
Councils.
But again, you always had people who didn't compromise on different things and they kept it the way they wanted to keep it. Someone didn't compromise. You always have people who originally in the church and belief what they did over years that start compromising because they get paid without compromising on the text. We see it. We see it all the time. Am I right or wrong?
Right.
You see people come out first and they're hard this way. Then a few days later they lighten up on this way, right? They come out saying, women can't teach. A few days later saying, no, women can't teach. You're like, wait a minute, they lighten up. Then they lighten up, and kept lighting up. It's what happened. In the Israelite movement, women can't teach. But you have certain brothers now who are saying women can't teach. Slacking. Women can't teach in a classroom setting. They can teach the children, teach other women, but not in a classroom setting. Yes, sir.
Would that be a salvation issue for a woman to teach? Because she's trying to.
She's out of order.
Yeah.
She's out of order. She's usurping authority over a man, meaning she's taking a man position. When you are teaching in a classroom setting, you are taking the position of a man. You're usurping authority. That's what Paul said. You're not supposed to do that.
I never really understood what the usurp of authority was in that. Thank you.
That's what that means. Yeah, that's what usurping authority means. You're stepping into a male's role.
I thought it was actually telling a man what to do. I thought that's what usurped authority meant.
That's part of it too.
Okay. Oh.
Because once you win his role, you tell him what to do.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
And who really want to listen to her boss you around?
Dude, you have certain men who in the world that have woman pastors and they listen to this woman pastor. You know what I'm saying? All you gotta do is show them what Paul said and they all get mad and angry.
And that's their go-to guy.
They don't want to go to him when he said we ain't gonna teach. They get angry. Oh, Paul don't mean that. What did he mean there? That was something that's a law in Corinthians. So Paul is teaching pagan laws now. Sorry, don't make no sense, bro. Paul wasn't addressing no Corinthian law. None of that going on in Corinth. Why would Paul be addressing some pagan laws? And then he calls it Torah. He says, so is the Torah. So he's mixing Torah with pagan laws. Paul would be out of order. He says women can't teach, but they're being silenced. He says, so says the Torah. Torah said the same thing, Paul said. And I killed all that. Again, I'm waiting for a woman to come correct me. If I'm wrong, by all means. Show me this Corinthian law y'all talking about. And prove to me when Paul says, so says the law, that ain't speaking of Torah either. Prove that. Let's we finished that. Let's go back now. Let's go back to where we was in Genesis 49. So we clear about the prophet, son of man, what it means. You got to be obedient to Christ. Again, I pray for these Tanakh only brothers and sisters, man. You guys have a lot to answer for. You have a lot to answer for because you don't believe in the man that came in the first century by the name of Hamashiach, Yahushua. You guys have a lot to answer for.
Who atoned for your sin.
You are going against the prophet Daniel. Daniel gives a timeline for the Messiah to come. Clearly, the text says the Messiah has to come before the destruction of the second temple. He has to have come before that. He cannot be not have come. That's what Daniel said.
That's the end of the first century.
Huh?
What time frame was that? That's
second temple, 70 AD.
70.
He got to come before 70 AD.
Come.
That lands him smack dead in the first century.
Come. Okay. Okay.
All right, we're back in Genesis chapter 49, and now we're in verse 11.
Okay.
We're in verse 11 now.
I think we finished 11, but
no, we didn't read 11. We stopped at 10.
Okay.
We dealt with the obedience of the Messiah and the submission. All right, who got that?
Verse 11. Binding his foal unto the vine, and his ass coat unto the choice vine. He washed his garments in wine and his clothes in the blood of grapes.
Yeah. Binding his foal unto the choice vine, and his ass colt unto the choice vine. All right. I think I got a precept here. Can we get Matthew 21? So we know what the vine, the vine is that's symbolic of Christ. Right. He's called it the vine, and he called the apostles branches, right? Binding his foal onto the vine. The foal is considered like a flock, right? He's the vine, and his ass colt unto the choice. Matthew 21, verse 1. Matthew 21, and we start at verse 1. Okay, brother.
Matthew chapter 21 from the top. And when they drew nigh unto Jerusalem and were come to Bethphage, unto the Mount of Olives, then sent Jesus 2 disciples.
Go ahead.
Saying unto them, go into the village over against you, and straightway ye shall find an ass tied and a colt with her. Loose them and bring them unto me.
Right. So now we're dealing with the part with the ass colt unto the choice vine. Christ is the choice vine. This is the ass colt that he's riding on, right? Tell him to go, and what you're going to find. Straightway you shall find an ass tied and a colt with her. Loose them and bring them unto me. So that's, you're talking about two animals here, right?
Come.
Go ahead.
Verse 3. And if any man say unto you, ye shall say, the Lord hath need of them, and straightway he will send them.
All right, so you go over there, and these people, and any man say anything to you, just say the Lord have need of them. So obviously these men will know about Christ, and once he mentions the Lord, they're gonna give him leave, right? So that this is telling you that what they were secret men you really don't hear too much about that recognize the Mashiach Yahushua. Right? And he's telling them, you have to tell these men I have need of them, and they're gonna have no problem with it. They're gonna let them go. They're gonna be okay, cool. Right? These men are usually these men would be some secret disciples, maybe some angels in human form, right? A few times in the Bible, the text tells you that Christ went somewhere and they didn't know where he went. A couple of times you read the text, it says that he went somewhere and he would have no man know where he went. He would just go. He would disappear. A couple of times he would just go. And the apostles, they didn't know where he went. They didn't know what he was doing when he went. Just that he went somewhere. No one knows where he went.
Like the private black room.
Yeah, that's what you have with secret disciples and stuff with Mashiach Yahushua. That's where he put together how his burial was. Nicodemus and Joseph, how would they know what to do? Because Christ went, have no one know what he was doing, but he would have told Nicodemus and Joseph about his burial, how to bury him, get his body down and all that. He schooled him how to do all of that. That's why you see him executing it when he dies to a T. How would they know that he pre-told him before what to do? Because he went and he told them.
About the Franken merge and
all of that. They told him all of that.
Right.
Told Joseph, listen, when I die, you see me die, go ask for the body. Take me down and wrap me up in the burial Nicodemus going to come to the spice and y'all roll the stone. All that's been told in them, bro.
Get that all done.
All that was planned. We know how the Most High move. All things are supposed to be done what? Decently and in order. That's supposed to be done. Remember, Moses and Elijah came on the Mount of Transfiguration, and they told him of his death. They told him, "Look, you're gonna die in Jerusalem." They told him how he's gonna die. They told him the whole rundown. So he got the whole rundown how he's gonna die. He just take that information and convey it to Joseph and Nicodemus to bury him, because they told him what's gonna happen to him ahead of time. Yes, sir.
I've never heard that in decency and in order.
No,
I mean, because it makes sense to me, you know what I mean? Like, but they're like, wow.
They get the verse, but they get the verse for Tony.
I need that.
They get the verse for Tony. 1 Corinthians chapter 14.
Yeah.
And I think it's verse 40. Let's get that for Brother Tony.
You want to read this one, Tony?
Yeah.
He told that.
1 Corinthians chapter 14. I think it's verse 40. You're going to confirm that. Yeah, 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 40, Tony. That's the one to be right there. We use this so many times, all the time. Especially when we be debating or get into an argument, we're like, brother, that all things be done decently and in order.
So which chapter?
Chapter 14, verse 40.
I'm on. All right. 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 40. Let all things be done decently in order.
Yeah, that's it. That's all you need, decent and in order. You got to be done decently, meaning with respect. And it's got to be done in order. Not out of order, in order. Right? And let's go back to Matthew 20:21. Decently and in order, come. That's how the Most High operate. That's how Christ operate. Prophets, men of the Most High. Who was reading that in Matthew 21? That's you, Isaac?
Hey, I'll be honest. So that even kind of go at his death, because that's why they wouldn't have been breaking the Sabbath to go to his grave, because that would have been out of order. So that they say he rose on the Sunday thing or whatever, died on Friday.
Even when it's supposed to be have died. When it's supposed to be have died. The text says he died at 3. And of course they had to be in the grave by 5 p.m. Right. So preparation was made beforehand. And then the women came to anoint the body when they came, right?
Yeah.
They couldn't have came the next day. It's Sabbath. That rules out that rules that out. The woman had came on a Sunday, first day of the week. But it was already gone. Let's be clear. And they came early in the morning. All right, go ahead, Isaiah.
Matthew chapter 21, verse 4. All this was done that it might be fulfilled, which was spoken by the prophets, saying, Tell ye the daughters of Zion, behold, the king cometh,
Thy king
cometh unto thee, meek and sitting upon an ass and a colt, the furrow of an ass.
Right. So that's what he came on. That's when we back here. We back here in Genesis 49, right? Binding his foal onto the vine and an ass colt onto the choice vine, right? He's on a colt. He's sitting on a colt, and he is the vine. He's sitting on a colt, and he's the vine. Let's get the verse where it says he's the vine, so we can get that down. You get St. John's chapter 11. Then we're gonna go back St. John chapter 11, I think it's verse 1. St. John's 11th chapter. And I think it's, let me make sure that, that is the verse. Let me make sure that's the verse. Oh, not St. John's 11. Oh, let me get the verse right here. It's in St. John's, calls himself the vine. All right, so we can get that. St. John chapter 15, verse 1. St. John chapter 15, verse 5. Sorry. St. John chapter 15, verse 5. What we look at. We're going to go back to Genesis.
We'll take this one. St. John chapter 15, verse 5. I am the vine, ye are the branches. He that abides in me, and I in him, the same bringeth forth much fruit. For without me, ye can do nothing.
Can't do nothing without Christ. Christ is the vine, and we are the branches. That's what it is. So the branches are attached to the vine. Mm-hmm. You detach yourself from the vine. What happens to the branch?
Bound to get tossed.
It died.
Yeah.
It died.
I threw away.
It died. You cannot detach yourself from Christ. You'll die. It's as simple as that. I'm keeping just basic, keeping it simple. We ain't gotta get too technical with it. You don't die. You get detached from Christ. It's as simple as that. He's the way, the truth, and the life. And detach yourself from the life, you don't die. All right, let's go back to St. Genesis chapter 49. That's all we need. We ain't gonna get to again. I left my in-depth notes at home.
Who's in verse 12?
Yeah, verse 12. I wanted to again the last part about he washed his garments in wine and his clothes in the blood of grapes. I know that's a metaphor. It's not a metaphor thing for the commandments and stuff. I left my notes, but I know I remember what that was. That's the same phrase I used in Revelation 2 as well.
Where his garment looked like it was dipped in blood? Where his garment would look like it was dipped in blood?
No, that's talking about brutal slaughter. Okay. But it says he washed his garments in wine and his clothes
like
grapes.
Like kinglyship, like the royal kinglyship, because it's in purple. Like great.
Kind of, but more dealing with the commandments and stuff. he murphed, meaning he wrapped himself, or he murphed himself. He covered himself with, or he clothed himself with the commandments of God, right? We are told to put on the whole armor of God, right? That was spiritual clothing. That's what this verse kind of like going into it again. I left all my in-depth notes.
Oh, he cleaned his spiritual clothes.
Huh?
He cleaned his spiritual clothes
when he wrapped himself, and it says he clothed him. It says he washed his clothes in wine, right? Meaning keep himself clean, or clean his clothes with that, and his clothes in the blood of grapes, right? Again, I'm gonna get that. We one of them days. All over the place. We haven't had a late start too. All right, we're in verse 12. Genesis 49. Well, we're in verse 12.
So, Genesis chapter 49, verse 12, and it reads, his eyes shall be red with wine, and his teeth white with milk.
Right. So he drank milk. The text talks about goat milk. That's probably what he would have drank. I don't think he drank cow milk. Not healthy, right? And his eyes was red with wine. We know Christ drank wine. Get that verse? In the book of Matthew, read it right quick. Let me pull it up. One second. Yeah. Yeah. Matthew 11, verse 19. Matthew chapter 11, we will get verse 19.
Verse 19.
11, 19. What we looking for. All right, go ahead.
Matthew chapter 11, verse 19. The Son of Man came eating and drinking.
So Christ came eating and drinking. So he was drinking wine. All right, go ahead.
And they say, behold, a man gluttonous.
And they say, a man gluttonous. You know, gluttonous, right?
Eating too much.
They like to eat. Go ahead.
And a wine bibber.
And a wine bibber. Go ahead.
A friend of publicans and sinners.
Publicans are tax collectors. He's a friend of publicans. Matthew was a tax collector. He's a publican. Sinners, according to their understanding, sinners are violators of the Most High laws, or even as it has back then, their oral Torah. You consider the sinner to be violating their oral Torah, which is wrong. Only violating God's law if you consider to be a sinner. I know oral Torah. The Pharisees would consider you a sinner if you violate their oral Torah. Go ahead.
But wisdom is justified of her children.
But wisdom is justified, meaning that what they're saying is that he's a child of wisdom. We saying stuff about him. He came eating and drinking. The wine bibber. He hanging around with tax collectors and sinners. But still, he is a child of wisdom, right? But wisdom is justified of her children. He's a wisdom child. So this could be just a comment that they just because what they trying to say that you don't think Christ came eating and drinking, like he came talking and his mouth was full of food. Had a wine bottle in his hand. Like, that's not how he was walking around. It made no sense. You know,
sound like a drunk.
like Santa Claus.
Drunk Santa Claus.
But you know how Israel is.
Oh, politics.
They got something to say about you, you know, whatever it is.
Yeah.
They always got something to put on you. That's a guy over here.
That's not funny, man, but that's cold.
Needless to say, needless to say, but it's true. It's there. That's us.
That's us. That's how we do it, bro. That's how we do it.
That's how you know it's us. Even Mama has something to say about it, right?
All right, let's go back. Genesis 49.
We just finished 12.
Now dealing with, I wish I had my notes.
So we just finished Judah, right?
Say what?
We just finished Judah.
Con. So we you in 13.
Genesis chapter 49, verse 13. Zebulun shall dwell at the havens of the sea, and he shall be for a haven of ships, and his border shall be unto Zidon.
Unto Zidon. So we have geographically where his border is. So we have his border, and that would be in Joshua 19 gives you their border. Is that in Joshua 19th chapter? And you did just get verse 24 real quick. And I didn't wish that's my in-depth notes that I have in the book at home. We go over this topic more in detail.
You said Joshua 19?
Chapter 19, get verse 24. I think I forgot to get I've got to get Moses' prophecy too when it comes to Judah. Deuteronomy 33. We get the prophecy. Let me get that right quick before we read that about Zebulon. All right, let's go to Deuteronomy. We're gonna hold Joshua 19. We're gonna get Deuteronomy 33, and let's get Judah. Deuteronomy 33. You can get verse 7.
Deuteronomy 33, verse 7, it reads, and this is the blessing of Judah. And he said, hear, Lord, the voice of Judah, and bring him unto his people. Let his hands be sufficient for him, and be thou and help to him from his enemies.
Right. So Judah gonna go through some times that he's gonna be praying to the Most High, and Moses is saying to hear him, and bring him to his people. So this time he's gonna be separated from the people, from the nation. Let his hand be sufficient for him, and be thou a help to him from his enemies, to help him from his enemies. Again, see, all this thing got to factor in when you're doing a 12-tribe chart. So this sounds like Judah is going to be separated from the nation of Israel for a certain point, and be brought back to the people. Is that covered in the 12-tribe chart?
It's kind of like Levi.
Yeah, that's what that chart had to be revamped, right? It's missing a whole lot of information. You know what I'm saying? Wow. 1 second. A lot of information. Like I said, there's so much you got to go through in this Bible trying to pinpoint these tribes, man. Like, these brothers are leaving a lot out, man. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of guessing.
Wow.
A whole bunch of guessing. But when it said again it was Judah, that means at some point Judah gonna go off.
Wow.
I don't stop hearing them.
Wow. Wow.
See, Moses is seeing what's happening to them in the future. So he's trying to set up a prayer for them and help them in times to come. What's going on with them? These brothers are not going to be addressing this stuff. This big jump to Judah, because according to them, Judah, Benjamin, and I always been together.
Judah, Benjamin, and Levi.
Well, Judah and Benjamin.
Oh, Judah,
But Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, you want to say that they always been together. This verse don't sound like it. When it says bring him to his people, and bring him onto his people.
Because probably at this time, Levi was in everybody's house, though. So it would be Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Naphtali,
Yeah, some of the history, like I said, the tribes are being split up and separated, man. Like I said, they don't know, man. They don't know what tribe they're from. You don't know what they're talking about, bro. They don't know what they're talking about, man.
Who would? It's hard to say, but who would be the one with kind of would it be Levi? Or I mean, well, I can't really ask that either. It's hard to.
Hey man, that's something we ain't shouldn't be worried about, bro.
Yeah.
All we know we Israelites. We should hang on that. We know we Israelites, so we hang on. We believe we're Israelites. That's where we hang on, right? When Christ comes up the sky, he gonna verify who is and who ain't. You gonna find out when a death. When you die, you gonna find out if you're not. When you die, the angel is gonna come and take you where you're supposed to go. Either gonna take you to Abraham's bosom, take you to the lake of fire, or take you somewhere to rest, and wherever he's gonna take you. You'll know exactly, because it says when you die, it says you are gathered unto your people. What it said. When you die, you go to your race. So when you die, you're gonna know if you're Israelite or not. So if you was a so-called black man here, whatever the case might be, in the skin, and you die and take it to Esau. Esau section down here.
That ain't gonna work.
I'm an Edomite? What?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, yes, sir.
You know, it slipped my mind when you said that. I had to come back to it.
Yeah, I'm just you know who you are when you die. You're gonna go right to your people. You know what I'm saying?
Because I do hear everybody with the pale skin ain't like a white, and everybody with dark skin ain't even black.
Nah. all Israel ain't never Israel.
But Christ knows who you are.
Them guys are gay guessing, bro. The only way you know who you are if you have a lineage. Your parents kept that lineage in that line. That's why Paul can say he's a Benjamin, right? And that sister, the sister Anna, right? He's from Asher. Her family kept that lineage. The temple was up. Your lineage would have been the temple. If the temple was still up from the first until now, we all know what tribe we were from. You know what tribe we were from easily. You just go to the temple and you go to the records, and it will be right there. I'll tell you what tribe. Oh man, you so and so. Your father is so and so. Are you from the tribe of so and so? Oh, okay.
Because you needed that back then to see who your pedigree comes from.
Yeah, all of was recorded. To let you know what tribe you're from. That was something that was still necessary in the first century. That record was still being kept. What tribe they were from.
So basically, that's not even really important anymore. I mean, like necessary for.
No.
Come on.
We don't know nowhere.
Guessing at best.
Hey, that's why that one guy told that dude we're really Hebrew, where your registry at? You check your registry.
Yeah, come on. You know you can't do that. Registry been laws. Plus, he's a mamzer. He gonna check the mamzer registry. That's the registry he gonna check.
Do they have a box for that to be checked? No, I'm just
I bet they do.
They don't have a box for that to be checked.
You got a box for that.
I bet they do.
A Mamzer box. Check Mamzer.
That box is gonna be one entry in there. I mean, that entry is a Mamzer entry. After that, no more entry. Everybody's like gonna be kicked out. The last entry, right? That's it. Yeah, man. I feel bad for early Hebrew, kind of Israelite, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it all proudly, bro. You just the text is clear. You're not an Israelite, bro. The Bible's saying that, not me. The Bible saying that.
In that all white, you did look like a daishiki or something like. It didn't look black. Like Judah.
Again, they're gonna come with I'm crazy because Solomon's son Rehoboam, his mother's an Ammonite. Doesn't mean he's an Israelite. God didn't put him on the throne. You gotta show that. Show me if you can show me God putting Rehoboam on the throne. It's different.
This is the son of a king.
This is different. I even Rehoboam, he was even the firstborn son of Solomon. Remember the lineage correctly, he was not even the firstborn son of Solomon. He's the son of an Ammonite. Can't sit on the throne, bro. We're not supposed to be sitting on the throne. All right, let's go. We was now getting to Joshua the 19th chapter, right? We getting verse 20.
24.
The 24 that I called?
I think you did 24.
Well, we dealing with Zebulon, right?
Come.
We dealing with Zebulon, I think it was, and
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, we didn't do 24 yet.
yeah, 24. Let's start 24.
Joshua chapter 19 and verse 24. And the fifth lot came out for the tribe of the children of Asher according to their family.
Right. No, we're not dealing with Asher, but we're reading this to show you that there was a separation. Okay. The Zebulon border was separated. Go ahead.
25. And their borders was Helkath and Hali and Betin and Ashaph and Amalek and Ahmad and Mishael and reacheth to Carmel westward and to Shihar Laban.
Go ahead.
27. And turneth towards the sunrise to Beth Dagon and reacheth to Zebulon and to the valley of Japheth, toward the north side of Beth Emek and Nile, and goeth out to Kabul on the left hand.
All right, so the Asher border comes all the way up and it hits into Zebulon. And it says toward the sunrise, right? That'll be towards the east after sunrise. So that this is their border to the east side. I mean, that's going up to the border. This is just showing that their border is towards Zidon up north. This is where the border reach, and their Asher border reach into Zebulon, because Zebulon border is up north to the sun rising, which is right next to the area of Zidon, Tyre and Zidon, as we was reading where their border is. Okay.
Northern Kingdom?
Northern Kingdom, right? That's where the border was. Where he talks about in the in Genesis 49, and he shall dwell at the haven of ships, meaning by the sea, right? And he shall be for haven of ship, and his border shall be unto Zidon. So he's up north. This is where he's at. This is speaking of in the land of Israel. Today, you know, they're trying to say, I'm speaking of the Canal Canal, with that nonsense there. Nowhere down there in South America is called Zidon. Is there?
Zidon, huh?
Like Zidon is over there by the land of Israel.
That's
Right? Up in the Levant. It's not down there in South America. But you're trying to use that in this story try to break down is wrong. Zion isn't in South America nowhere. So that don't make no sense. They ain't talking about it. They're trying to use it and say that, but that doesn't mean any of that. Let's get another one here. Let's get Judges chapter 5. Okay, man, I wish I had my book. I have to stop this class here short, because we going over a lot of detailed information that needs to be brought out. It's not being brought out. We're gonna get this one right here. Okay, Judges chapter 5.
From the top.
verse 18. We're gonna get yeah, we're gonna get verse 18.
Judges chapter 5, verse 18. Zebulun and Naphtali were a people that jeopardized their lives unto the death in the high places of the field.
So we see that Zebulun and Naphtali, they put their life at risk of the death when they were going to fight in the wars and in the battles. When it came with Deborah and Barak, these were two of the tribes. They came. A couple of tribes we read last time didn't come. Reuben, he didn't want to come. I think Dan stayed on ships. He didn't come neither. He didn't come to fight. Those stayed, but Zebulun and Naphtali, they did come to fight. So they came to help.
You said that's Deborah and Barak.
Come here. When you read earlier in the chapter, it talks about it was Deborah's speaking, going off through what tribes came and what tribes didn't come. That's what it was going off into. I'm trying to get the other verse where it talks about how many of them actually really came. How many of them came to the battle to help. It talks about how many of them came to as well. Anyway, like I said, there's not too much here spoken of about Zebulun. You see right here that Jacob is real short when it comes to Zebulun. Right, he's gonna dwell in Haven and ship. He's by the seashore where a lot of ship pass through. Right, Haven is like a port, right, where a lot of ships pass through. And he shall be for a haven of ships. His border shall be on his line. That's basically all that Jacob speaks about Zebulun. All right, so mainly I want to leave it there because there's too much for reading over. I need my depth notes so I can bring a whole lot of stuff out. So I want to go into Issachar because Issachar is something that we need to get some information on. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of misconstrued stuff going on with Issachar and stuff, especially they say today Issachar is so-called Mexicans. Which I don't
Mixed tribe.
Which I don't see that at all.
But that I can't fathom that. The mixed tribe.
Yeah, that's not they came from a so-called black man and so-called black woman. How are you gonna look like that today? That doesn't make no sense, bro.
In what they're saying on how they feel when they come to the council. The true colors with the LA Council.
Yeah, all that, bro.
Like how you feel like that, but you come from us. You part of the 12 tribes, but you feel like that towards the Negroes.
No, the Jewish people. It's the same thing almost.
Even worse, y'all like brown, y'all closer to us. Brown, you supposed to stay down.
Nah, but that's not brown either. That's a problem with colors. It's not brown. Some of them are.
The ones that be talking all that stuff, them high seats, ain't brown.
No.
Oh yes.
So they wasn't. So that's a discussion that we're gonna get into, hopefully, with them brothers. A discussion that we need to deal with. But I want to come down. Let's come on down. I want to jump all the way. Let's come down to the next. Let's go to Genesis. And we're gonna come out to these tribes now. I don't want to continue to have all my notes with me. I was trying to just go off of what I have in my head, a couple of stuff I had here with me, but it's just not enough. I'm just reading over a lot of stuff that needs to be brought out. So I'm gonna have to do a part two of a part two.
It's okay. That's okay.
Yeah, we do a part two of part two. Let's jump down to Genesis 49. We want to get the last verse.
You said Genesis 49?
Yeah, Genesis 49, verse 33. Genesis 49, verse 33. You know, yeah, you about it. But start at verse
22,
29.
29.
Yeah.
Genesis 49, verse 29. Verse 29. And
Wait, 28.
28.
No.
Okay. Genesis 28, verse, what's it, 49 verse
49, verse 28.
49 verse 28. And all these are the 12 tribes of Israel, and his is it that their fathers spec unto them and bless them, and every one according to his blessings be blessed them.
Right. So we see here these are blessings, and certain things are spoken of that they just sound like it was some kind of blessing, especially with Dan. Get the Dan. Go ahead.
And verse 29, and he charged them and said unto them, I am to be gathered unto my people.
He's about to be gathered unto his people. Everyone that died gonna get gathered unto your people. Now, if you're mixed, where are you gonna be gathered to? See, back in the day, we come in and say, well, you're of your father, whoever your father is.
That's what I would thought. That's what I would thought.
That's what you would have thought. Not necessarily true. You mixed.
So we gotta be divided in half.
You're
lukewarm.
you're going to go to the mixed place.
Oh, wow.
Mixed multitude.
That don't sound good.
Just where you gonna go?
Author of confusion.
Come on.
Would you say that was hell or what? It's gonna be a special home place.
Yeah, special home place, but for mixed people.
Okay.
But isn't that how stuff is separated?
Come.
You have the salt, right? You have the black pepper, and then you have the what? Seasoning salt. That's in its own place by itself, is it not?
The juices.
The juices over here. Things are separated, right? You have your cow milk, goat milk, your half and half, right?
Buttermilk.
Buttermilk.
Pit milk.
Separated.
Oh, see, that's like, it's almost being mixed. It's like an abomination.
It is. You don't do that.
Because you don't mix fruit together. Like you got these fruit.
You're not supposed to.
Yeah, apple juice mixed with strawberry,
the hybrids,
grape.
You're not supposed to, but some people do mix it. People mix a lot of stuff together. You know what I'm saying? Mix a lot of stuff together. It depends on the mixture, right? It depends on the mixture. Certain things you don't mix, right? We know what don't mix.
water and oil.
Water and oil, water and electricity. Yeah, there's certain things you're not supposed to mix.
Israel and Edomites.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's
Right.
like this. And then you take a dog, like you said, pit bull, and you mix it with a German Shepherd. And damn thing
What?
don't look like a pit bull mixed with a.
Yeah, you're not supposed to be mixing species like that. You don't do that.
Because you mess up the bloodline and everything.
Yeah, you don't mix certain fabrics.
Because like he bred with a pug, female pug, and this thing came out looking.
What?
Look like they looked it ugly.
Oh wow! What did you get?
Same thing with people, they're not supposed to mix. These brothers don't understand the situation with mixed.
Like read the
Text said they mixed. Cause we come with schools coming out there teaching us in the school that man ain't nobody mixed. You are what your father are, right? The text is calling them mixed. Typically say that a mixed multitude came up.
Hey, I got a question. I think it's in Acts 24. You know that lady named Drusilla, but she was called a Jew, but that was I think it was Felix's daughter, and he was an Edomite. Why did they call her a Jew?
Actually, get that Acts 24. Let's get that.
It's in Acts 24. I don't know exactly where it's at. Hold on.
Yes, verse 3.
Where is it at?
You said verse 3, Isaiah?
Well, that's where it starts with Felix.
Well, it's his daughter. Her name is Drusilla. It's in Acts 24. I think it's in Acts 24. Her name is Drusilla, and she's called a Jew.
Drusilla?
Yeah, Drusilla. G. It's like DRU.
Probably calling her that for sure.
Drusilla, like Jew.
No. Drusilla is a Drew. Oh, it's 24. It's verse 24. Verse 24.
Okay. Jewish.
But her dad is an Edomite, and this is her dad was an Edomite. But what? And it's calling her a Jew. So that would make her mom. Well, her mom is be a Jew. That's why they call her Jewish. Jewish.
That sounds like Jewish.
Certain people you should just say it too. Like you a Jew. There's no parts of Judah. Just
no. She's a. So I'm gonna read what it says about her. It says Drusilla. It says she was the daughter of Herod Agrippa the first.
Right. That's an Edomite, right?
Come.
Right.
It says and had left her first husband, Azias, king of Emesa.
Yes.
King of Emesa and married Felix.
Mm-hmm.
It says it was no doubt through her that Felix had his knowledge of the way. Right.
So that means she taught him the laws.
Well, she taught him about the Jewish culture. She talking about the Jewish culture and different sects. When it said that she was a Jewish, she's a convert. She's a convert. Herod is a convert. Herod Agrippa, he knows about the prophet because Paul tells him. Let me show you. Paul tells him, it says, I know you know the prophets. He tells him. He says, so if Agrippa knows the prophets, he's a convert like his forefather was King Herod, because King Herod was a convert.
Mm-hmm.
Right. No, I understand that, but I'm saying my question was, I know that that he was a convert, like the Edomites was converted in, but she's an Edomite by nationality. But did they look at her as a Jew?
No, a convert.
Okay.
She's a convert. She'd be what I call a proselyte.
So this Jewish, it's almost the same as saying Jewish, right? Because she's converted. Yeah. So it's I was right.
She's a convert.
Yeah.
She's not bloodline. She's a convert.
Just like they be having different title like Russian Jews and Irish Jews and all like, come on, man, y'all Germany, y'all ain't gotta.
But yeah, those are all converted Jews. Yeah, that was the name.
Yeah, because listen, the text, because if she couldn't have been a real Israelite like that, because it tells she left her first husband. You can't do that. in Israel community, you can't do that.
Yeah. I knew she wasn't an Israelite, but I always wonder why the text called her a Jew. You see what I'm saying? When we know that she was converted in because her dad was an Edomite. So I was just saying that Paul and all them brothers, did they look at her as a Jew? And because one thing I noticed, like with this whole Kanye West thing, nobody's saying he's wrong. When he's pointed out that they're Jewish, like the brother was saying, they're not denying that, and they're not denying when he say that the blacks are Jews. They just like jumping over the anybody he talked to, and he say something like that. They never deny that blacks are not Jews and they're not Jewish. So I wanted was just already a known thing, like okay, you guys are just converts, so we'll call you Jewish or whatever the situation is. Like we'll just acknowledge that point to them. You see what I'm saying? Because why does the Bible? Why are they even mentioning that?
Oh, look the word up right quick, so we'll go up into it and see what it says.
Ooh,
So we can kind of get the understanding of it.
Here we go.
You get the whatever the Greek word is here, we can get an understanding.
That's good. We went into the word though. That's good. That's good.
Yeah. As a Judean, example belonging to Judah, Jewish of Judea. What we have so far. Look up some more.
Yeah, that's that G2453. I could never find it on this word, but I always wondered about that. And I was like,
That is it.
Because what I always was thinking is that this is like a part of like them infiltrating us. Because we know Hera was an Edomite, and then she probably was like slick and tried to blend in or whatever, but it's probably more than just her that blended in. You know what I mean?
What you mean? I mean, they eat it. Also, like what you mean blended in?
Like in okay, like if you go to in Nehemiah, when Nehemiah, when they was building that wall up, it's a brother named it's in Nehemiah 4. These people, they were an Ammonite, a guy named Tobiah. He was an Ammonite, and he married a Jewish woman, and his son, him and his son married a Jewish woman. So they were mingled in with the Jews. And this is how I'm pretty sure you know the story. This is how when Nehemiah had kicked all the people out, they still had alliance with the Ammonite brother, because his family was connected to the Jews, because they were mingling in, they had married them, so they were in the mingling. And in Nehemiah 4, I think no, it's the Nehemiah 4. I think it's Nehemiah 4. Nehemiah, you know the story. You know the story I'm talking about. The brother named is the brother named Sanballat, and he was an Ammonite, and he married into a Jew woman. So based off that, he was able. You know the story how they let him come back in the temple. I mean, the high priest let this guy into the temple chamber. He wasn't supposed to be in there because he was an Ammonite. But it was all the storytellers is because he had a connection. He was like family.
Yeah, is that one of the priests one of the priests married his daughter or something, a man's daughter.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So they were already mingling in. They weren't supposed to be doing that. So they had, you know what I'm saying? He had his son married a Jew woman. You know what I'm saying? He married a Jew woman. So it was his son-in-law that has tried to set Nehemiah up. Shemaiah, the son of Era, I think it is.
Yeah, all those people right there that did that, they kicked him out. They were kicking out his wife and his father. But the guy that Judah, the priest, he left with him and went up to Samaria.
No, I agree. But I'm just saying that they were doing that. These people were doing, they was in the mingling like crazy.
Oh yeah, definitely. That was but before Nehemiah, when Nehemiah left and whatnot, there was a whole lot of intermingling with each other. They wasn't supposed to be doing.
And what I got, I mean, I ain't trying to go off the subject, but because of that intermingling, these guys that were traders were still. That's why you probably need to stay clear of that, because they was able to trade. like try to trick our people, because they still had like, if they daddy was like an Edomite or something, they'd be like, hey, we know we cousins, so let me come in the temple or something like that. And you're gonna let them come in because that's your family, They ain't paying no attention to what Nehemiah had going on.
Yeah, I'm going through all of the words in the Bible, and everything just let me check that, because everything I'm seeing so far is just saying J-E-S, it's just saying Jew. This is Jewess. It's like a different, it's like separating. So the spelling is like separate. Everything is saying just Jew. This is like Jewish. Let me go back and see real quick. I'm trying to see if there's another text.
I hope you can find second, brother. I have done so much research on this part. I'm like, I'm stonewall, but I
But I forget Acts 16. That's the same phrase here too, which was a Jewish and believed, but his father was a Greek, and it has the same. Let me see if there's another phrase, another one. That seems to be the only other one that has that.
My thinking was, I never seen this, but I was like, well, maybe her mom was a Jew, probably, but the text don't say that, so that's what I was thinking, like that her mom probably had her, saying her mom probably was a Jew or something like that, but I couldn't never find the research on who her mama was.
Yeah, those two seem to be the only two places where that it is spelled like that. Those are the two places I see that it's spelled like that with the Jewish.
With the like Jewess or something like
that.
Spelled different too.
Is it just you think it's just spelled like that because it's just letting us know that's a female? But we already know she's a female because it said her name.
Yeah, I mean, spelled that because I guess they're saying that she's a convert, but but we have the other one here. This is the situation. The other one here is Timothy's mother is termed that way too. Yeah. Timothy's mother is also called a Jewish. I don't think Timothy's mother was.
Hey, you know my thoughts on Timothy now.
A non-Israelite, huh?
I say, my thoughts on Timothy and Titus.
What about him?
I think Timothy is based off that scripture right there you just read. I think his dad was I think his mom was a natural born Israelite and his dad had to be a Greek, a natural born Greek, just based off that scripture.
What scripture?
The one you just read, where they call his mama a Jewish, a Jewess, is let us know that she was a Jew. But then, like, why are they going out? Why is it going to the point to let us know that she was a Jew and his dad was a Greek?
But I'm saying that the same term is being used, right, where you pulled there in Acts 24:24. We know Drusilla is not a Jew.
No, that's why I'm asking this question. That's why I'm thrown off.
No, but you're saying Timothy's mother is a Jew, right?
Correct. I believe she was a Jew.
Are you saying a convert or by blood?
No, I believe she's bloodline Jew.
Yeah, but I'm saying the same Jewish term being put up on her. So if Drusilla is a convert, then that would make Timothy's mom a convert. The way that this word is being read, right?
No, that's why that's why I was confused about the lady Drusilla, because I know her dad is an Edomite. That's why I was saying maybe her mom was a Jew, but I can't find that nowhere in the text. So that's why I brought the whole situation up.
Okay, let's say her mom was a Jew. She is if her mom was a Jew, she's Jewish now because of her mom. You know what you're saying?
No. What I'm saying is the people at this time, they're looking at her as a Jew.
That's not.
Who is a Jew?
Okay, the lady Drusilla, right? The text is referring to her as a Jewish, right? The text not referring to her as an Edomite. You understand what I'm saying? Why is the text not referring to her as the Edomite when I know her dad was an Edomite? I don't know the answer to it. That's what I'm bringing out. That's what
I'm saying. That means a convert. Converted.
That's what I think is.
It has to be a convert because she not bloodline, so she's a convert.
That's why they probably writing it like that. No.
We know she's not bloodline, so that would have to mean she's a convert. She converted over. Because we know her lineage, her father, right? That's what her father was. So now we're gonna have to, you know what? I'm gonna have to go into the I'm going to go into the encyclopedia and the thing, and then get the full, because I have the Herod lineage. It would tell me who her mother is and who her father is, so we ain't gonna be confused. I have it.
Yeah, there's no doubt she definitely converted. I mean, you know what I mean? She definitely was a convert. But so when she was a convert, once you convert, are you looked at as a Jew?
No, I'm saying I want to you saying that you think her mother is a Jew, right?
No. Only reason why I say I think her mother was a Jew, right, was because of the fact of the Timothy, the Titus, I mean not Timothy, the Timothy scripture. But I don't even know if her mother was a Jew or not. My thing was, like you saying, I always thought she converted over, but then when she converted over, I was like, okay, well maybe they start looking at her as a Jew because she converted over. So that's why they're going out. That's why the text is pointing out that she's a Jew, because they're looking at her, even though she's an Edomite, because she's following the ways of Yah, they're looking at her as a Jew. That's what my understanding is, or what I'm thinking right now.
All right, let me see, can I pull up, let me see, can I pull this thing up right quick? Let me see, let me give us the complete lineage of this woman. It's gonna pop up. We can get this thing situation cleared up. Why is it? I don't know. Oh man. It can be correct. Let's take another look. Oh, I'm looking at it wrong. I'm about to say, I don't know. I know. Aha, here we go. Here we go, brother. Gotcha. Aha. Here we go. I'm gonna share my screen, brother. Let me share my screen. Let me put it back up. I found it right here. The lineage right here. Let's pop it up right quick. But it's not highlighted. All right. It is highlighted. What is this thing doing? Okay, here we go. About to share my screen, brother. Let me know, can you see that, brother? I got it.
Yes, sir. I see it.
Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we have Herod the Great, Matthew chapter 2, verse 1, Luke 1 and 5. So he married Miriam the first, and then Miriam the second, and Meltes, and he also married someone named Cleopatra. Right, so Cleopatra with Herod, with him he had one son, Herod Philip II. That's in Luke 3 and 1. So Malthace, he had Archelaus, he was in Matthew 2:22, and then she only had another son, Herod Antipas. And Herod Antipas, he married Herodias. Right, this is where Luke, John was telling you couldn't marry Herodias because she was actually for his brother Philip, right? Herod Philip II here. Is this Philip II or is this Philip here the first? We have the scriptures here. So, and Miriam II, she had Herod Philip I. She married Herodias, see? but Herodias went and she went and got with her brother Antipas. So then the first Miriam had Archelaus, and he fathered Herod, king of Challis. He married his niece, Bernice. That's in Acts 25:13. He also had Herod Agrippa the First, Acts 12, 1 through 23. And then he also had Herodias, right? Herodias, their sister. Matthew 14:3, Mark 6:17 and Luke. So let's see. When we get to Drusilla. Okay, here we come to Drusilla. He also had Agrippa the second, Acts 25:13. Then he also had Bernice, Acts 25:13. And then he also had Drusilla, who married Felix, who we had in verse 24. Right, so her father is Herod Agrippa the First. And this is his three children, Agrippa the Second, Bernice, and Drusilla. Does not show her mother. I probably show her mother. Who did Herod? Doesn't say who their mother is. No, doesn't say who their mother is. She fathered him. He fathered three. This one fathered these three. And that's what the line ends at right there. Does not say who their father is. I'll look it up, man. If I look it up,
I mean, some other research I had done before. I know her first husband was some king that he actually became a Jew as well. Well, that's what it says. You know how they do. He was Drusilla. She was some king. But this guy, I don't think he was an Israelite, but he started following the ways. He definitely started following the ways.
Yeah,
he was the king.
Aziza.
Yes.
King of Emmaus.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But he's a Gentile, right?
Huh.
But he converted to he became a proselyte, and that's how she got taught or whatever. Because he became a proselyte. So that's how she came into it, and then she married that other guy. So I don't know. I was just asking the question to see like why did they start calling her a Jewish, like a Jewess? Why they start calling her that? Were they looking at her as that because she's the proselyte? That was always my thought.
Yeah,
so that's why I asked.
I mean, her father, Herod Agrippa the First, he's a proselyte. He's a proselyte. He converted. He converted because his father, his great grandfather Herod the Great, he converted. So all his family, all Herod's family converted. Because Herod married two Jewish women from the priestly family. Miami the first and the second. These are both Israelite women. These are both Israelite women that he married from the priestly order. He married two of them, and then he had to come up with children of Jewish mother.
See, one reason also is because I know these fake Jews, they go off the mother lineage. So my understanding or my thinking is this is why they do that, because they know, man, you know, Judah, we was knocking out, well, not we, them brothers was trying to get everything they could when they conquered or when they go into a nation. So they understand with a lot of that going on. So they could probably trace back their lineage to their mother because our Israelite ancestors was going into these heathen women, having babies by them. So I think that's why they lean to more the mother side, because they could find out, this was we did have an intermingle with Israel based off our mother.
Yeah, well, that's mixing, and then that you'd be a man.
Right, they shouldn't have been doing that. But I think that's why they do it. That's why they go on the mother side, because we were doing that.
Yeah, man, I'm a research that, man. I need to go off into one of the deeper study on that, on those two names there, like Timothy Mom and Drusilla is called a Jewish, and get the context here, and find out. That's why we need the Hebrew Acts. I'm looking at the Hebrew Acts and see what it says. Because this is the Greek.
True. I was thinking to myself, I bet you that brother Kanye got the means and the wealth to get to some good books, boy.
I've been thinking the same thing. I'm like, I know this dude is reading some stuff we can't see.
Right. You know what I mean? He got to be, bro.
I don't know what Kanye reading, but you know, there's a lot that he has wrong that he needs to get corrected.
Oh yeah, he's definitely a little loony now.
He needs to get to that stuff corrected. You know, some people are behind him. I'm not, bro. I think what he did was a waste of time. Definitely a waste of a lot of money. He lost $10 billion behind it. I think the stuff that he's saying, we in this community, we know that stuff already. He ain't something new that we don't know. You know what I'm saying? I think people out there too as well. A lot of people out there in YouTube streets and stuff, they know this stuff that he said. Yes, sir, Izal.
They said that Forbes lied about Kanye's wealth and it didn't drop. It actually went up.
Yeah, I seen that. Seen that, bro.
They said Forbes been lying. They never had his figures right. He had way more money than what they was talking about.
Well, the only people that dropped him, you can't say he couldn't have went up.
I don't see how.
Couldn't have went up.
See how that is possible.
Couldn't have went up with all the people that dropped him.
He got dropped.
Those people dropped him. Now that's loss of money. He didn't go up. He definitely went. I would agree. Maybe he didn't go. It kind of felt weird to me that he lost that much money.
That much, huh?
11.
What I read is that his net worth went down, but his actual income went up because when they broke these contracts, they had to pay him out. So it's like you know, your house may be worth $100,000, but if they want to buy your house, they give you don't got $100,000 in the bank, but if you sell your house, they give you 80. Now I got 80. So I may be $20,000 down on worth, but I actually got that net income in my bank now. That's what they were saying.
I would agree with you. If you terminate the contract before the contract is up, you do have to pay.
Come.
They voted the contract before it was up. They would have to pay what the contract said to void it early. There's an early termination fee in the contract. You're reading all contracts.
I think that he's. I just think it's just a part of the plan. Just exposing a lot of things. Because unlike Deshaun Jackson, what's the other dude named Nick Cannon? Mm-hmm. Yo, he ain't backing down. You know what I'm saying? He like, yo, it is what it is. Even though he's a little loony, but I think it's making that conversation out there.
Hey, Shabbat Shalom, Yeshaya. How you doing, brother?
That is Yeshaya.
Shabbat Shalom. Hey, I got a question about that too. I've been behind him a little bit about like the whole thing, but I've been having this thought in the back of my mind, like, what if this is like some antichrist stuff, you know, like where it's kind of like a setup, because when he talks about it, some things, you know, like with us being Israelites and like, you know, us finding out about the truth of ourselves and our history, we still normal in a sense. Like we still like have the things that we grew up with, which could look bad on society. But what if this is kind of like how could I say it? Like what if it's on purpose and he's like gonna make us look bad? You know, have any of y'all ever thought that at all?
Hey, I thought that, bro. I thought they paying him to try to set us up because they know what's going on. That's funny. Man. I told my wife that.
We got enough bread.
A rug pull. It's like a rug.
Yeah, rug pull. Psych.
I sure hope not, but you know, I've been going with it for the most part. But I pray it doesn't go that way. It don't go that way.
I think we all praying for him though.
But here's the thing. Now they got the skinheads on top of the freeway with the signs. Like,
yo, that was crazy.
Right.
That was
tripping. Kanye, right. And I think skinheads want to come out with the y'all fake Jews. We don't, because Hitler was off.
What the skinheads
talking about?
They know it. But they got this thing called the British. I know y'all probably, it's called the British Israelites, right? They believe they the Israelites. Some of them. They got the whole 12 tribes.
I seen that.
Yeah.
I seen that.
It's weird, man.
That's how
That's
the
weird.
queen. That's how the queen weasels into it. She says she sits on the seat of Solomon.
Truth. So just like we say we Israelites, we got a 12 tribe chart. They think the Americans or the Western Hemisphere is the northern tribe, and the queen them was like the southern tribe. It's weird. They got it's called a British. It's called the British Israelites. Man, if you was white, it's like the white side of One West.
God, exactly.
But what have the skinheads been saying though? They saying that
Kanye West.
we are or we aren't.
We are. Well, they saying Kanye West was right, so they saying we are. But that's
listen to them, bro. They just hate Jews, bro.
Yeah,
they hate Jews. So they saying he's right. Specifically, he's right about what? Is he right about them how they cheat and how they do all that, or is he right about saying that the so-called black people are the Israelites? You know what I'm saying?
That video.
White lives matter.
The video that Gabar sent, I looked at with that guy Lex Freeman. This guy is a known Jew, fake Jew. But when Kanye West is talking, bro, this guy through the whole interview never said he was wrong about saying the Jews are black. You know what I'm saying? So I thought that was very interesting. He never denied it. And Kanye West said it multiple times. So it's like they know, but I think they're trying to do the damage control thing. Because he never said no.
They all, man, listen, they all know. The ones over here, where we at over here in California, over here on Melrose, they know. They admit that the Jews are black. They know that. You know what I'm saying? So
it's just this, man, black people, man, it's so disgusting though, bro, to see like none of the rappers are like trying to, like Jay-Z, none of these guys coming out trying to stand with them. So it's like, it's weird, man. I got no respect. I never had respect for these guys anyways, but it's like they really clowns. You know, like they not even standing with this guy at all on nothing. You know what I mean?
But Sir Smith, you're gonna work so hard to get to a certain point, and you're gonna lose all of that to say something that we already know.
But I'm saying,
we know that they fake already. We know that they underhanded. Listen, that it's the devil being the devil, right? He's pointing out the devil being the devil. That's not new. He's being who's supposed to be. He's being the devil. So if you decide to make a contract with the devil and go into his label or make some kind of deal with him, and then he backstabs you, you shouldn't be surprised. He's
But my view, I think this guy, I think when he started out, he didn't know it. I don't think he knew that they would backstab him, but I think he realized that he don't own anything really. So now he's trying to own his own stuff. You see what I'm saying? So I actually think the guy done it on purpose so he could get dropped, so he could be free. You know, that's what my thinking is. He don't want to be tied in with them.
Russell Simmons brought that up too, not to cut anybody off.
I mean, I wouldn't say he went in thinking that how these people were saints, but I think he knew to a certain degree that these people are underhanded. But maybe he thought that maybe they probably wouldn't have did it to him because they're making money. You know what I'm saying? But now that they have done this thing to him, you know, he's lashing out. But these people are not going to change, man. All that Kanye West said and all of that, and people know about it. They're not changing nothing. They're still going to be what they're doing. They're still doing their agenda. It's not going to change nothing, man. Right? It's not going. Ice Cube back then was blowing the whistle with the whistle on what that song about Jerry Heller. You know, made a Jew, broke up my crew. You know what I'm saying? He don't been talking about them since then. Yes, sir.
Okay, so he brought out one good thing that I haven't really heard nobody spoke on. He said that 90% of black men are signed to Jewish people, but no Jewish people are signed to black men. I think that's going to change now.
Wait, what does that mean exactly?
So, you know, they're
they own a lot of labels.
They're the boss. You're a slave. You still a slave.
Right.
They're making them do whatever like they tell them. They put all that in their contract.
What do you call the people that they kind of like
puppet masters.
They puppet master, but what's their professional name?
Executives and A&Rs and all that.
The people who find the talent and then
A&Rs.
and then they sign them like
Scouts,
kind of like a scout, but it's an
A&R, man.
It's an A&R. That's a good name for them, but it's one more specific.
Izar, hear what I'm saying, right? Kanye making a statement on how
agents.
I think the number is exaggerated, right? But all of this is a two-way street. They're not forcing you to sign with these people. You making a decision to sign with them because there is money to be made here, right? There's a give and take here, right? So these men that are signed to these Jewish people, they're signed to these Jewish people because this person here can get me the maximum money, right? Your agent can negotiate with you to get you more money, right? CERN can get you more money, CERN cannot get you less money. Right. We know that when it comes to Jewish lawyers, anything Jewish, you're gonna get the maximum pay. So you're gonna enjoy, you're gonna sign with him, right? Like it is now, like with our Clutch Sports, right? He's a brother. Certain black men are signed to him. He can get them certain contracts and money in the NBA, right? And then different things. So it's all about who you sign with to get you the maximum money. So when he's saying that, he making it sound like it's some kind of thing where they're forcing black men and whatnot. No, feel like they're doing that because of dollars.
Well, think about this, bro. And this, I've been saying this for like since last year, honestly, way before this Kanye West thing. This is the major issue that's going on with Lamar Jackson. It's his mother is his agent. So if they give this guy this money, he's gonna mess up the whole game. You're gonna mess up his whole little Jewish agent system. You know what I'm saying? Because more black guys gonna come out with a talent. We don't need you Jews. I get my mom and my dad, my brother to represent me. You know what I'm saying? That's why he's not getting the contract. So I think like what you're saying, it's like even if they getting piece of the money no matter what, so they staying rich. So we don't own anything. Like we always got to get them a piece of something. So I think it's like, yo, don't deal with them. If you don't deal with them, you won't get paid. Put it that way. I'll say that you ain't gonna be in the entertainment industry if you don't deal with them. That's true. That's what I think he understands.
Independent, yeah, for sure. I agree.
But that's the word I was looking for. Agent. Agents. All the black men are signed through agencies and agents to be paying them. But why we can't be agents? We can't find no money.
Yeah, some black agents.
I mean, yeah.
You know, but again, the black agents don't have the access the Jewish ones do.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
They have the access.
And also, you know, like a lot of them Jewish people, I don't know when this all started, but when they got all that money from like all them ads that they used to put on commercials about the Nazi stuff or the you know what I'm talking about. When they got all that money, the Holocaust. When they got all that money from there, they started buying up a whole bunch of stuff, and they started like, you know, not red zoning, but like they would pay for these things, and they would only share with each other. They won't sell it to anyone else. Like what Asians and Chinamen be doing and stuff. So they was buying all these, they buying all these production companies and all these studios, the main ones though, and banks too. And that's really where it is. They pass the jobs down to their kids.
It's true. And even in that movie, y'all ever see that movie called, because it's not just the Jews. What's that movie with Chris Rock done called Black Hair or something like that? You ever saw Black Hair or something by Chris Rock or something hair?
I know what you good hair.
So it's good hair. So in that documentary, he's saying, look, even if you own your own black hair salon, like you try to open up a black store, the Chinese people band together and won't sell you wholesale products. You know what I'm saying? You got to go through them. So even, you know what I mean? So it's like you locked out. And that's what the Jews overall, that's what they do. So you got to deal with them, but do we really got to deal with them? How people keep saying we the #1 spenders in the world and we broke? It's because you got to deal with them.
$1.3 trillion we spent.
And ignorance.
Man,
yes, sir.
I believe all that stuff that you're hearing these brothers are giving these where they get these numbers from?
It had to be more than that because how they count mine. I ain't tell nobody what I'm saying.
Listen, man.
Hey, I love
come on, bro.
That's funny. Hey, that's true.
On every dollar.
How we spend that much money? We so broke. Come on, man. Where we
bro,
spend that much money?
I tell you this, Amiyan. Think about this. TD Jakes Church, Creflo Dollar Church. Look at the church, bro. We probably spend a trillion in the church alone.
No.
Just think of that.
So Smith, these churches are government funded. You know that, right?
They 501(c)(3).
They government. You don't see it. They government. If the church, the church operate tax free. Let's start there, right? Plus the church gets grants and government stuff that you don't hear nothing about.
See,
hear nothing about. Plus you have certain people in the church now that's like Denzel and Magic. They will donate millions of dollars, but the regular people can't do that.
Right.
So where's all this money coming from that you able to have all this big money? It's government. The government funding. The people ain't giving the church that much money.
Yeah, because we ain't got no money left.
They don't have it. Yes, sir.
Then not only that, even Antoine LeVay, the Satanist, he even said they ought to start taxing them churches.
Wow.
That's what he said. He said they need to be taxed because they make him so much dang money, you know.
Yeah, get it from they government funded.
Yeah.
Because the government regulate what they teach and how they operate and what they do. They government funded. If anything is wrong with the church, any kind of thing is wrong, they can go to the church to get it fixed.
Yeah.
They can go get a grant or whatever the government will give them the money.
Yeah, teach them John 3:16.
Yeah. all that money, come on, all that money can be coming from the members, bro.
Nah.
They're not that rich.
Not unless you got, but then again, you got members that sit in the front row like Denzel and all of them. They give up some good money.
Members.
They give up money.
You know.
Sorry to cut you off, brother. But the ones that sit way in the back, you know, they the dollar way.
$1 way.
But yo, I'm just saying, I think that what I get from this whole thing, like, man, black people got what they think they got. You know what I'm saying? You think you got, I'm talking to rich people, because they can't say what they want to say. If you say, you look at this guy like Charleston White, these guys that be on the internet talking crazy, or even the Israelites that talk crazy about the Jews, right? Nothing happened to them. So how did that not happen to these guys and they're on these platforms talking so crazy? They never get canceled, never get shut down. But when Kanye West say he going DEFCON 3, which is not even an insult, they shut him down. You understand what I'm saying? Why is that? You don't think they're monitoring these guys on the internet and they just let them that's why I think these guys are agents too. Because how they getting away with talking crazy against the Jews, deaf to them, and they don't get canceled or whatever. But this guy come out and say one thing and they shut him down. That's why I think part of his thing is real.
Nah, bro, his influence, that is impact on who we can influence. That he can influence enough people. Stuff that more people listening to him than Charleston White.
And then
way more.
He got the whites on his side too.
He has a lot of white people listening too. That's the problem. Charleston White doesn't have all that. They're not really worried about him. They're worried about us. We on the zone for only year teaching this. They're not even worried about us. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. That's true. Because that guy Charleston White said that slavery. He said F slavery. He don't care about slavery. He wasn't in it. That's what he said on that 95 South show. He said forget Martin Luther King. He said a whole bunch of crazy stuff about Malcolm X, and nobody said nothing about it. You know what I mean? Like I'm like, man, these black people, bro. We'll let people talk about us crazy in these rap songs about our women, and then not us, but you know what I mean. But then somebody says, if you say something about a fake Jew, man, they shutting it down. We ain't gonna shut nothing down. We just gonna talk about it. They gonna shut it down, bro. They would shut it down. They will shut you down. That's what I think. That's what I got out of it. These people powerful.
Hey man, brother, I'm telling you, Kanye, if he actually lost $10 billion, he don't lost all that money really for nothing, because nothing gonna change, bro. You know how still got black people is, man. They jump on something that's hot right now. In a year or two, it ain't hot no more, and move on to something else. So that's where it's gonna go. Right, it's gonna fall asleep again.
I ain't gonna lie, Amayan. A lot of people don't know about this. I think him saying it is bringing it to light to a lot more people, and then a lot more people is gonna look into it, and a lot more people is gonna get into motion to trying to do what's right, or you know what I mean, trying to get a line back to where they come from. My cousin I was just talking to yesterday was like, damn, like it really is whack that, you feel me, we don't have no language. Like, he don't know that. He like, we don't have no language We ain't got no culture to go back to. Like everybody out here got something to go back to. You feel me? Something to make them feel like whole and complete, and you know. So this is a stepping stone, honestly. All that money he lost.
Man, I mean, man, you have us saying this stuff since the early 80s, 90s, 2000s, the teens.
Yeah, but like you said, nobody, the voice ain't as big as his though. You see what I'm saying?
No, but no, bro. You know what I'm saying? Since we've been doing that, we have influenced Kendrick Lamar. He's big. He's saying he's an Israelite, right?
Yeah, but look what Kendrick Lamar.
They getting that stuff from us saying that kind of stuff, right? You have Carmelo Anthony. He's saying something about we Israelite. You have the other brother, the basketball player, the tall one that was the one over to Israel, right?
Amar, yeah.
I'm saying you have other people as well, stars, right? On these platforms that they're slowly they're hearing us and they're starting to convert over and say that's who we are. We're saying sword and swordy, right? Kanye might be the biggest of them all so far. But what I'm saying is that what we're saying is working. Is hitting these celebrities.
I agree.
It's getting out there, right? It's getting out there. So it's working, but
billionaires.
Listen, there is no way you have these famous rappers and stuff that's saying that, and a Jay-Z and a Denzel and the biggest black stars don't know about these things. Listen, just last night, if you look at ESPN last night, had a piece on Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving was pushing what? Hebrews to Negroes, right? Negroes to Hebrews, right? And ESPN was saying how Kanye is pushing anti-Semitism and stuff.
Really? Wow. I gotta check that out. Wow.
He came up on ESPN.
Wow.
Hebrews to Negro was spoken about on ESPN, but they're trying to say how there's stuff in there that's been debunked. It ain't been debunked, but ESPN is saying it's been debunked. So people hear that, but no. But if people was to look into the book and the movie, it ain't been debunked.
Wow.
But see, look, Kyrie is saying that Kyrie's bringing attention. If Kyrie knew about it, then you know his teammates knew about it, right? Especially Durant knew about it. You know, LeBron knew about it. A lot of these guys know about it. Listen,
see, I think that it made me look at. I tell you what, I look at LeBron so different. I respect LeBron as a man that take care of his family, but after they took that boy off the show, they let me know LeBron, he's afraid to lose that money, boy. They took because Kanye did a show with them and they didn't air it because of this situation.
No, Tony, I'm saying people are saying that it's good. They're saying it, but not at the expense of $10 billion. Right. You don't want to say they lose $10 billion, right?
Okay, I'm trying to make sure I understand what you're saying. At what expense? Like you, I know you would 100%, bro. You'll lose everything to get this truth out. You know what I mean? I know you would. So if this brother lose $10 billion to him, he like, so what? It's just money. Matter of fact, he just said that. He said it's just money. It don't even belong to me anyway. That's what he said. He said, but money belong to the church. It don't belong to me. I lost the money. So maybe he looking at it like we would look at it. Like, man, I don't care how much money I lose. I want to say this. You know what I mean?
No, not like that. No. If I did that, it would be something that my people and a lot of people don't know. A lot of people do know what he's saying. I would take my $10 billion that I would stand to lose, and I would funnel it into my community. I would funnel it into the neighborhoods with the gang, and then offer these gang members jobs, opportunity, and stuff for them to stop gang man, keeping them busy doing something positive, and to stop killing each other. That's more effective than coming out saying these people right here are doing this, they're doing that, and we're the Jews, we're that, and I lose $10 billion, and people are, and then now what?
But that's another thing. This is another thing, brother, and this is a fight. What I'm going to say, when you get taxed, you can't even. Cause my wife's sister a millionaire, right? You can't even give your money. You can't even give your money to whoever you want to. That's why you got to go through like Red Cross, Blue Shield, Boys and Girls Club. You can't just give your money. Like if I can't just shoot you $5,000. I say, I want to donate $5,000 to the ministry. I can't just give you $50,000, bro. They'll tax me. So these guys that got all this money, they can't just do what they want with their money. You know what I mean? They can't just do that. They can't just say, let me set up this program for in my old community, like just set up this right here. Nah, you'll get, they're gonna kill you on the taxes.
No,
so
you're talking about spending, you're talking about, you can give me some money. They taxes income. It's income. You're talking about taxing income, right? It's income when you're talking about. They're taxing.
No. This new law, the banks want to know everything now.
Bro, they'll kill you. They'll take your money.
Listen, I understand.
Okay.
You're talking about taxing something.
They're gonna tax it.
What can be taxed? We're gonna tax what?
Yeah, any money you move over $5,000, they taxing it. This Joe Biden just put that out there.
Yeah, I can't even. If I send you cash up right, $5,000, it's $600. If I send you a cash up right now of $600, bro, if I don't put on there, it's like a love offering or something. Yeah. I'm gonna get audited.
I got you, but that's what I'm trying to say to you. If he takes the money and he opens up a trade school and he open up these things, they're not taxing that because he's putting it under something. It ain't given to somebody. He's helping the community out. It's gonna be tax free. He put it into a foundation, and the foundation is then using it to build communities.
No, because what you have to do,
stuff like
when
that.
you do that,
there's
you
ways
have to set up
around
a
this
501(c)(3). To do that, you have to set up a 50. You have to set up that 501(c)(3) to do that. Yep. And when you do that, you just like the church.
Yeah, you can't have
no. You don't have to do no 501(c)(3). The person that Nathaniel, one of Nathaniel friends, so you can do the same thing. And it's not even, you got to be on the 501(c)(3).
Oh, you got to be smart.
But they're the same power. No, I'm telling you, know what, God, teaching us about it. You can do the exact
same. Would it be tax free though?
Huh?
Would it be tax free?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. I need that information.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got that.
The guy named Prince, he was telling us about this stuff. But see, it's we don't know all the information. We're limited with the information that they disseminate to us. There's ways around all this stuff. There's ways around all this stuff, bro. We just don't know how to do it.
I told Gabari, I think my thing is his money. I don't understand why he didn't put his money. If he was going to do this, he should have put his money to black-owned bank before he done all this. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Because they lose all that money, but you know. But again, maybe he don't have the, because this is his net worth we're talking about. You know what I mean? Maybe he don't have that hard cash. It's just what he's worth. Maybe he's only worth 11 billion. But hard cash, he probably don't have that. I doubt if he have 11 billion hard cash.
No, he don't have that. Right. He don't have all the time. He don't have that. But I'm saying that there's people around him that told him, bro, don't do that, don't say that, don't go down that lane. And he's not taking their advice. I'm sure if you read it by Jay-Z would have told him, bro, Kanye, don't do that, bro.
You gonna get your force.
But bro, you don't think it's worth it, bro? Look, he got the whole world, brother, talking about us being Israelites, bro. It's so many people, bro. It's so many people that I've been telling this to for years. Don't call me up saying, "Oh, your boy Kanye crazy," but I guess y'all are Israelites. You understand what I'm saying?
I got you.
I'm just saying, just the conversation of waking it up and exposing them. You know what I mean? On that level. I think it's worth $10 billion.
Last more.
But hey, so you telling me now people are saying that we are Israelite because Kanye said we are?
No. I'm saying on a larger scale. People, like you say, we've been saying this online. People know that, right? But I'm saying on a larger scale, it's like, I hate to say this. It's like when a white man told you something, they believe it. Like I had one of my homeboys, I've been telling about the Sabbath day. He heard Alex Trebek said on Jeopardy. He called me up, so I guess you're right. The Sabbath day is Saturday. Right? True story, bro. True story. That happened. But my point in saying that is that just because Kanye is saying it, is now like, okay, this is like confirmation to them for us. That's what I'm saying. It's like they believe him over, like we've been saying it, but now because somebody is bigger and more powerful that they look at, he's saying it. So now to make them come, and now when we talk, they're gonna listen more. That's why it's such a detriment when these little crazy guys like Girly Hebrews say all this crazy stuff. They're hurting the community because now people are going to be going on the internet looking this stuff up. You see what I'm saying?
Now the kids know what these fridges mean on the train when I'm
yes, different things like that. I think he's making it more.
The first thing would have been, oh, clown dude, you don't know how to dress it. Now the little kid looking at me on the train like, curly hair, like wool burnt brass skin. He going to, I see that faggot. I see his fridges. I think I know what he off.
It's kind of like the boy said.
Let's give it some time and see. Let's give it some time and see really where is it going to go. Is it going to go in one ear and out the other ear? See, it's hot right now. It's going to be this way another year or two from now.
A fizzle. But if you get some more white boys with signs talking about Kanye, if that happened again, it's gonna blow up.
Hey, Tony, do you think them Jewish people are gonna just sit there allowed to just they're actively right now planning to put stuff out to crush this
boycotts on
this conscious movement. They're gonna start putting out propaganda and all kind of stuff to say that this stuff is false. Man, they ain't gonna just sit there and just let it just linger like that. They're going to attack it. Like anybody that's talking about that, they're gonna probably close their account down. Anybody talking about them being fake and use of life, probably close their account down. They're gonna shut all that stuff down. Anybody now, because they're gonna see, wait a minute, man. Too many people are starting to listen to this guy, starting to believe that stuff. We just start shutting the people's accounts and stuff down, shutting down their Twitter, shutting everything down because it's getting too rapid, and they got the power to shut it down. So now it's about who's gonna stick with it now. Now you know you an Israelite. Kanye don't say that you didn't believe it before, but because Kanye spoke on it, now it kind of woke you up. Okay, are you going to stick with it now? Or are you going to just go back to your own thing?
I see you said
that. You know what I'm saying? Who's going to stick with it now? Because it's pointless for you to say I'm an Israelite today and tomorrow I'm a pagan again. It's pointless. Now it's time to stick with it. And we don't talk about black people. We rarely stick with what's true.
Right. And Jones.
Rarely.
We keeping up with Jones.
It's hot topic right now. It's all good right now. That's why time will tell. And listen, I'm all with him saying and exposing it. I'm saying that again. We have celebrities who have acknowledged that what we're saying is true. They know they cannot debunk us and then say what we're saying is wrong. We have scholars. We have what is Farrakhan big like Kanye or big as big, or is Kanye bigger?
No, Farrakhan.
Because Farrakhan said
no. I would say Kanye is way bigger than Farrakhan.
You say Kanye is bigger than Farrakhan?
Yes, sir.
You know how long Farrakhan
been
doing?
No.
Yeah, I mean, we see. For me, it's
power. Kanye West.
Okay, so check this out, right? This is what
Hold on, Servant Smith. Let me, because I get why you say that. I think I do. Can I say why?
Yeah, go ahead.
I think you say that more so because Farrakhan, yes, he's been out longer, but when you say more famous, it's not. It doesn't have to do with time, as far as longevity. Like, Kanye is more booming right now because he's younger and he's more. He has a wider variety of people looking and listening to him because he's not just talking about the Bible or religion or whatever. I think that's where he's going with it.
Yeah, and then this dude Farrakhan, he's known, but I mean, basically, like just in the Black community and the so-called Jews that don't like him. But you talking about worldwide with China and Russia? Man, ain't nobody Russia don't know nothing about no Farrakhan.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they do.
They do. Listen, someone wanted to give Farrakhan $1 billion.
Yes.
The nation says, "No, y'all ain't doing that.
Yes.
Y'all ain't doing that."
And it's a billion people named Muhammad on the face of this earth, and they all check him out.
Yeah, that dude is known, bro.
They check.
Well, I'll say this: I think Kanye is more influential than Farrakhan. I'll put it up.
There you go. That's true.
No, that would be the Who.
Well, yeah,
that would be the world. That'll be the Who. Because
I think to the world.
I
think the black people as a whole. Most black people don't trust Farrakhan. This guy just signed with the Scientologists. Most black people in the black community think he's a fraud anyways. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
and then think about it. He been out this long. What has he done? I mean, honestly, with his money, did they get a black bank?
You have black people.
They got a black bank.
Yeah, black people think that Kanye is a fraud too. Because listen, he's talking about the people, but he's also saying he have contracts with them. You have contracts with these same people you're talking about. How much can you? I mean, like I said, how do we not know this is all a whole big trick that they don't put you up to? You know what I'm saying?
No, but that's my point. But I think he's exposing. That's what I'm saying. I think he's exposing. I think he understands the contract thing now. Like, yo, we don't own anything. I could be a billionaire, but I still gotta shut my mouth and say what the agent tell me. I can't be my own man. Even if I got my own YouTube channel, my own platform, I still gotta play by the rules. That's what I think he's realizing.
But he do gotta play by the rules. These people are in power. You know, like I said, here's my thing with the situation, man. I like that he's saying we're an Israelite, and he talking about how they gonna save black people, which we know he ain't gonna do nothing. He don't do nothing like that. That's all talk. He ain't gonna do any of that. Our only savior is Mashiach Yahushua. Period. Ain't no man gonna save him. The text says clear, plainly, right? So it's feel good talk, right? It's feel good talk. Euphoria. But the text is clearly telling us God put these people in their position that they're in. They ain't get there on their own. God have them in that position over us for a reason. It's part of our judgment. It's part of our punishment. This is why they're in the position that they're in, right? And it's kind of you doing that. It's like it's a pushback to what God will set up. It's a pushback to what the Most High is putting in place. Because the only one that can take them out of power is who? Is the Most High. We can't take them on it. Listen, the whole world can know that these people is fake and all this other crap. They're not going to move from their position unless the highest says it's time for them to come out of their position. It's going to stay where they are. It ain't going to come out because the text tells us God put one up and put one down. He does all of that. Right? Christ told Herod. He said, you wouldn't have no power and all this was given to you from heaven. That's why Christ told Herod. He says, God put Herod in Herod's position that he's in. Christ told him that.
That's good.
He's an Edomite, right? And I never saw Christ at one time rail the Romans. And we know they was wicked as hell.
Right.
He never really, Christ was like, listen, I'm here. The mission is die for the nation of Israel, teach the law, statutes, and commandments, be an example. I'm locked into what I'm here for. I'm not here to rail y'all and call y'all names and say y'all this. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here for the mission. I think Kanye need to get to if that's his mission to just expose them or whatnot.
He accomplished that.
That's already known.
Right.
I guess now it's known a tad bit bigger.
Right.
But I'm saying it's not in the overall scheme of things. It's not really going to change anything because unless God say take them down, they ain't coming down. No matter what you know, it ain't coming down. It ain't time for them to come down. We waiting for the Antichrist. Listen, they're gonna still be in power when Antichrist comes. The book tells us this.
Wow.
It's still gonna be in power when Antichrist comes because the Antichrist is actually on whose side? He's on their side. The Antichrist attacks every Muslim country and takes them all down. He do not attack who? Fake Jews. He don't attack them. He actually go inside with them and build his temple right there in Jerusalem where they are.
Right, the new temple will be built there.
It's right there in Jerusalem where they are. He builds his temple, and he don't take down all the Muslim power and every other power in every takedown. And he's then backed by the Jews, and the Jews gonna say, "That's the Messiah right there. That's him." They winning. They winning now. They're gonna win when the Antichrist come. Listen, by the time the Antichrist come, brother, Kanye not gonna be here. We ain't gonna be here. We all gonna be gone, bro. We all gonna be dead and gone. We're gonna still be in power. So says the book. So is it really worth it? Nah.
Well, I'll say this. For me, I think Kanye, Kanye still do the Sunday church thing anyway, the Sunday service. So I just see like for my younger cousins or whatever, now they hear him say it. So now I've been doing this for a while. So now they like, oh, I see why y'all keep the Sabbath. So you're not crazy. I had two of my cousins say that to me. And I was mad. I'm like, oh, you saying it because this dude Kanye saying it? But then I calmed down in my mind. I'm like, okay, at least they listening now because he said it. I don't think this guy, I don't know if he followed, I don't think he walking in the truth, none of that. I just think he brought awareness to most people that's around me that now can kind of solidify, okay, let me listen to him a little more now because Kanye's saying it. That sounds crazy. And I did get mad. So now you just want to listen to me because Kanye, but whatever, you're listening now. That's all I'm saying.
I listen, I agree. I agree. Here's what I would like to see from that situation too. Our brothers and sisters in the churches, if the churches start saying we're not Gentiles anymore. Yeah, we Israelites. Let all the so-called black churches across this entire country and everywhere else start teaching in there we're Israelites. If that happens, I would say it's worth it. If all the black churches, all of them, start teaching in that church, we are Israelites, I would say it's worth 10 billion. I would spend 10 billion on that. If they all start saying that we're the Israelites. Clearly worth it.
Hey, he did make Jesus walk though.
I brought that up too. He said, I'm not going to hell because I made Jesus walk. He said, I'm never going to hell because I made Jesus walk. Come on now. If you don't keep law, statutes, and commandments, don't go to hell.
Good luck.
That song ain't no get out of hell card.
Get out of hell free card.
Yeah, that song ain't get out of hell card.
He did say, I had a dream, I died. He said, I had a dream, I died, I went to heaven. I woke up and I spent that on a necklace. Crazy.
What?
Yeah, he got a song. He got a song back in the day where he said he had a dream that he died and went to heaven, but he woke up and he spent that on the necklace.
So
yeah,
in other words, heaven is monetary.
Yeah. So, but I'm saying this guy. That's why I'm saying I don't believe anybody can change. I hope the dude did repent and he changed, right? But all I'm saying, I believe that he's being used just like we're being used to get the truth out. You know what I'm saying? But we gonna stand for righteousness. Maybe he coming, but I think he did bring awareness and expose the system a lot more than we can do it. Than any Israelite on YouTube can expose the system. I think he has more influence than Farrakhan and all these other people that can expose the system. Because Farrakhan been calling them Jews. You know what I mean? But ain't nobody paying attention to Farrakhan.
Right now, yeah. Right now at this point, yeah. Right now at this point, yeah.
I think he even exposed Farrakhan. Because look, bro, how long Farrakhan have been on? Why we ain't got no black bank from the Nation of Islam?
You know what?
Why the Nation of Islam don't even have a black bank?
A black bank?
You're talking so much about a black bank. Why the Nation of Islam don't have their own bank?
You saying bank, BANK?
Yes.
Because your money will come up with no.
But you see what I'm saying though? This guy, he talks so much about black empowerment.
I don't know what they have. You know, I don't know.
No, I know they don't have it. Like some of my family are Nation of Islam. I know they don't have it. They put their money with the Jews. You see what I'm saying? So I take what they say with a grain of salt, but I'm just saying, I think that they just talk, but I think this guy here, he's actually proven I'm willing to lose whatever to get my his point across. Whatever his point is, you know what I mean? He ain't worried about the money. That's what I think.
I agree. I need to see more of the effect of him saying that. If it's just a few 100,000 people, it ain't worth it. But if it's the majority of so-called black people start to say that they're Israelites, then it's worth it. Definitely worth it. It's easy worth it. That's actually worth. It's actually worth more. It's actually worth more than $10 billion. You know what I'm saying?
Wow, big number.
and yo, down here, man, I don't even think money even matters with us, our community, because down here, man, a couple of years ago, they was doing these drops, they call them, these tax frauds. Man, so many people down here was doing these little tight schemes down here, man, getting like $10,000, $20,000 checks. Man, they was buying Rams and gold chains. You know what I mean? So it's like, even if we had the money right now, the mind's so messed up, we're going to put it right back to the Jews.
Wow. No, I mean, I'm just waiting to see more of the effect of what's happening with this, with what Kanye is doing, man. I hope it wakes a lot of more of our people up. I hope that do happen because we need it. Because we've been doing it. They think we crazy. Some kind of crazy brothers on the corner talking a whole bunch of crazy stuff. They don't want to listen to us. You know what I'm saying? So if Kanye's saying it's gonna wake up the black church,
They calling him crazy too, though.
Huh?
They calling him crazy too.
Some of them, yeah, but some of them gonna be like, no, maybe he ain't crazy.
A lot of them are saying that now
Yeah,
too.
he ain't crazy. You know what I'm
And
saying?
he waking up kind of to a lot of other races too.
I hope we start waking up more celebrities too. But again, see, celebrities have a certain fear. What happened to Colin Kaepernick? They gonna start by trying to blackball.
That money.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. It's the money. Once they get past the money, then it's all good. But the money is not a problem. The problem is the unity. If all the black athletes get together, they can't shut all of them down. They gonna lose the entire sport. You lose the entire sport. All the blacks together, they gonna lose the entire sport. And all blacks saying we ain't playing. If you don't pay him, then you ain't paying all of us because we ain't playing.
That's a beautiful point. Beautiful.
If he preached that, that's where the damage is really gonna be at. Exposing them is minimal. You preach unity to black people. Listen, y'all need to come together as a united front. You football players, you basketball players, you rappers, all of you. You gang members, stop killing each other and come together. Teach that. Because once that happens, you know what that means? They coming out of power. They done. The money don't even matter, none of that. Because they need us. Yes, sir.
Bro, that's such a beautiful point, Amayan, you just made. Because when I read that Chase told him to come get his 140 million, I was like, these people really don't care about money, it's about power. Because they say, yo, come get your money. They don't want his money in the bank. So I'm like, damn, they don't want the money. So it's like it's more about power and influence.
And that will be letting brotherly love continue. What you just brought out right there, that's the biggest form of brotherly love.
That's what if that happens, what they gonna do? They need football players. They need football players. They need the rappers. They need these people. They're working for their agenda.
You don't think these guys understand that though? Like the rappers, the football players?
No, bro.
Did they need them?
They need a voice that everybody's listening to for them to say it. You know what I'm saying? And we need more and more of them to say it. You remember the situation with the owner of the Clippers when he called black people slaves and all that other stuff, and then the black players say they came together and said we ain't playing unless he get rid of him. What happened?
They had to get rid of him.
Got rid of him when they came together as a unit and say
that's a good point, brother. That's a good point.
As a unit. Listen, if they didn't say that, they probably kept him around. They saw like, dude, you gotta go. I'm sorry. They all saying they're not gonna play. We ain't gonna lose our whole business because of you. You gotta go.
The secret was cool, but you said it out loud. Now the lady let it get out.
Listen, I'm telling you, listen. Even if that would have happened, if the NBA players would have said we still gonna play, he'd have still owned that team because they said we are not playing.
Yo, that's why you think the country. That's why you think like what you said makes sense because like I'm in a union. I'm in the union, right, at this job. But I know like most other companies don't like unions because it keeps the people together with one voice.
They don't like unions.
That's interesting, bro. Good point.
Union will destroy the entire business. Because what the union said, well, we ain't going to work. What you gonna do? They're probably gonna sit up in that store right there. Ain't nothing gonna go nowhere.
That's beautiful. Good point, brother. That's why he said he loved the unity of the saints, unity of the brothers. Wow, that's a good point, brother.
Power in numbers.
See that? Now, if what Kanye West says galvanize us to come together, because I'm saying, if we all saying we Israel, right? We all saying we Israel. We not saying no more than we.
I know where
we all
going.
Israel.
I know where you're
going. How you do what now?
Keep them statues.
Time to keep this all statues and commandments.
Beautiful point, Amayan. Man, we'll shut the whole crab industry down, pork industry down, pork industry down. We'll shut the economy down.
Brother, listen, that's our power. our power, laws, statutes, and commandments.
Wow, bro, can you imagine we start keeping the dietary laws? Yo, the shrimp industry is over.
Right. The meat industry is gonna fall apart.
Gonna fall apart, bro. It'll be over.
Listen, not only the meat industry, the drug industry.
Come on, man. Beautiful. And then they say they probably get these Negroes out of here. Let them go. Just give them what they want.
Take them back to Israel.
Listen, and here's the biggest thing too. They might say to themselves, let's go clear them niggas. Let's clear them black people out.
Then that's gonna
Let's
really
go clear them out.
And your house is away.
Then God's gonna say, nah, it's time for you to fall down. Nah, now you going crazy. You were never gonna do that. Now you gonna fall. And he done. Because he knows his limit, because he got to go check in with his spiritual father, which is who? Satan. He gonna say, can we move on him?
I ain't ready to go.
Don't
I ain't ready to go.
Don't do that. Don't do that. You keep with the lies. Don't do that. Don't do that. Keep lying. That's it.
Turn the lies up.
Turn the lies up. He can't listen. He cannot attack us as a whole and wipe us out. You know he can't do that.
Hey, Amayan, on another note, do y'all have a like when you do the broadcast, right? Do you what is this thing called? Do you have something where you, in case they shut the YouTube down or whatever, do you have your lessons bike file?
Yeah, I got them all backed up on a external hard drive.
Okay. I just was thinking that because when you were just talking, I was thinking like, man, if we start coming together in unity, man, they gonna shut this thing down. Then you probably lost all your information on the internet. You know what I mean?
God.
I was just thinking about that. Okay, cool.
Back up on the external hard drive. Well, the majority of them, these new ones, yeah, I got to go back and back.
Because they will. What you saying, brother? I believe they will shut it down if we start coming together in unity. Because we'll take the power away just by coming together.
I think that's the real damaging messages that they don't want to hear. They don't want to hear us come together, bro. They want to keep us divided. It's always been the one thing that kept us out of power and then in power. It's to have us divided.
You know what's so crazy? He brought out. I seen the video today where he showed how all of them are together and all his stuff. That's what he realized. He said all of these guys are together. Like they connected. So once they say shut it down, everybody gonna fall in suit because they got one common goal. No matter what, no matter how much money they getting with you, they all gonna shut it down.
They together when it comes to that.
Man, you had some Israelites saying, "Nah, man, I'm getting money with him, man. He all right, he cool."
Yeah, we can't have that.
You're gonna have those. The other call them. What do you call them? Rebels. Purge out the rebels from among you. There's always going to be some rebels, bro. They're going to get purged out. Sorry, man. Them dudes is done, bro. Them dudes is finished, man. Hey, listen. We are 1 or 2 steps away from destroying all that all that foolishness. We 1 or 2 steps away, bro. 1 or 2 steps away. Because we at Joshua. We at Joshua. All we need is Moses and the Exodus, and it's game over. It's game over. What's happening now, bro? In the community of believers in Christ, these guys are educating people to be able to argue the Exodus. They equipping you to be able to defend it with the archaeology and evidence. Once you can do that, the rest is over. There's nothing else out there. It's over. It's a wrap. And that's where I'm educating myself at, where I can argue the Exodus flawlessly. Once that happens, it's a wrap. It's over. It's done.
You ever heard of this guy named Professor Smalls? He's like a chemist guy.
Huh.
So I'm listening to this guy today. He just happened to be on his one podcast. And this guy, I don't think he believed in the Bible, by the way he was talking. But his thing was kind of like what you're talking about, the Exodus. We have to be able to prove that, like what you're saying. Once we could prove that, bro, that they were black people, it's over for them. It's really over for them. But you got so many black people that try to say they weren't Israelites that was in Egypt. I don't get it.
That's what I'm saying, man. It's like it's for years they've been attacking. Oh man, the book is all made up. Nobody in the book exists. Then start finding this guy existed, that guy existed. They start talking about those people. Then start pushing the oh man, after respect. Christ ain't existed. This ain't existed. They got the truth. He existed. He got all that. Oh man, they wrote that in the Persian period. Then they found stuff way. Stop saying that. They're constantly saying stuff, and it's constantly coming out where you're wrong. It's constantly pushing them back, and where they're at now, they're at the Exodus. See, they have to acknowledge that everything after the Exodus, coming out into Hezekiah, they will not argue Hezekiah going forward. They won't argue none of that. They stop arguing that because they know that there's evidence for that. Right, where they at now? Oh man, Solomon existed, man. David existed in the found. They're written on the stone, house of David. They had to stop saying that.
I seen that.
That's dead.
Oh, wow.
David, it's fact.
That's done. You gotta stop saying that.
Wow. You gotta send me that. I need the information. I need the information.
Oh, Joshua existed. They just found the cursed tablets that Joshua wrote.
I seen that one.
Yo, you gotta send me that. I need that information right there, bro. That's fine.
I gotta shut the hell up.
We almost home, baby.
Almost home, baby. Yes, sir.
2 steps away, bro. Listen, you have people out there who's already saying it's already over.
That's what Kanye said.
It's already over. Listen, Metanetta is not a spoken language. None of them can speak Metanetta. You can't speak that.
Wow, are you serious? That's deep. So
you can't speak that. It's symbol you can interpret into a word.
So you don't. So really, they don't know the hieroglyphics mean then.
They know what it means, but they can't speak it. Like I'm speaking English right now. They cannot speak that language, right?
Oh,
you can take a symbol and say, oh, that symbol means this, and it means that, and it means this. But the symbol itself is not an alphabet. An alphabet you can turn it into a word and you can speak. It's not an alphabet. That's why he said the Hebrew language is the oldest alphabet. The old alphabet is Hebrew.
Yo, that's so beautiful. I never know why. So back in the day when they used to do those debates, I never heard nobody bring it out. Like, yo, what is the Kemet language then?
They would call it Metanetta, but ask them to speak it. They're gonna shut up. Speak that. Nobody can speak it. None. Nobody can speak Metanetta. Ask them. They can't speak it. They're gonna say, yeah, man, we can't speak that. Not only that, they have not deciphered all of the symbols. There's over 120 something symbols. over 20 something symbols.
That's why it's called the language of the gods or something like that. It's extra now.
They have not finished deciphering all the symbols. That's why some people are saying that you guys have not deciphered. You have deciphered these symbols, this language or whatever when you want to phrase it at. Yeah, because you're missing other symbols. Because next thing you know, you find out that symbol don't even mean that.
Translated it wrong.
The fake Jewish don't know that's back there, the language.
Man, they don't care about that, bro. They don't care about that.
The colors don't match up, so we disregard that.
They don't care about that. That's true. That's people who want to, you know what I'm saying? They listen, these fake Jews, bro, they don't even concern themselves with the Exodus. They don't even listen. The majority of these fake Jews, the majority, like what, 85% of them, don't even speak that Hebrew. They don't speak it. They don't even know what the Bible says.
No, it's true. It's true, bro. I was surprised to find out even in Jerusalem, most of them they don't even practice the faith.
They don't.
They don't follow.
I was surprised to find it out. They don't even practice it.
Don't speak it, don't follow it, and don't know what it says. You know more what a book says than they do.
And the biggest gay parade in the world is in Jerusalem every year.
Tell us see, that's what they off into now.
Pink City.
That's what they off into now. Gay.
They care less. They care less. They care less about that whole Jewish Torah thing.
That's all wrong.
Just can't do
Yeah, I feel you.
Listen, bro. Listen. They don't listen. I came across two guys. I came across two guys. One of them is Muslim. Guess who he's married to? Jewish woman.
Oh.
And when I said, wait a minute, I thought y'all was fighting. He said, man, that's not old stuff, man. We don't do this. Man. He said, dude, they said, that's old, man. We don't do that no more. He said, that's dead. We marry each other. I came across, guess who?
Jewish man with a Muslim woman?
Huh?
A Jewish man with a Muslim woman?
Yes. A Jewish man. I said, you married to? I said, no, you're not. He said, yes, I am. I said, dude, y'all fighting. He said, man, that's that old stuff, bro. We don't. I said, you don't do that. We don't believe that old stuff with old 4-5. I said, man, no one goes by that no more, bro. None of us do that. We marrying each other. I said, y'all are? He said, yeah. Yeah, go ahead, Isaiah.
I heard the same thing. I was talking to a Muslim lady in the wash house, and she made it known that any religious a Muslim can marry as long as they're religious. And she brought the Jew up first. She said, I could marry Jewish people, this and that. I was like,
oh, listen, they're giving us this false perception over here in North America, but it's not the truth. These people are over there marrying each other like crazy. This is what they're telling me. They're doing it right here. I'm like, I couldn't be doing that. I'm the suicide bombing. They said, no, propaganda stuff, bro. It ain't even like that.
so he's not a wild man no more.
They're not doing that.
Wow. Because they probably all in cahoots, like we ain't the children of Israel.
No, what I'm saying is that all the stuff that we've been portrayed is not. This is why these people are being dumbed down. Mm-hmm. They're not following their traditions and stuff anymore. Mm-hmm. They've been watered down and let all that stuff go. Mm-hmm. They've been brainwashed. They don't deal with the whole stuff. They marry each other. They ain't dealing with all that. That stuff don't mean nothing to them no more. Especially the Jewish side. They really don't care about no Torah or none of that stuff or that language. They ain't care about that.
They say, Jesus who?
Much less Jesus, much none of that.
Hey, I know it's getting late, but what do you think about what's going on in Israel now about them trying to build a third temple and getting them 4 heifers over there?